You're watching the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Now it's time for the Brent Austen Show.
Hey, there's a look at the newest Strings Sports Brewery location in Jax Beach, and it is getting the finishing touches. We're probably the first ones to show it to you, quite frankly. This is the outside area, which is fantastic here in Jax Beach, and that's going to be a popular spot. It'll bridge the inside, which is huge. It's our first look at it, and we are here live from Strings Sports Brewery in Jax Beach on this Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And Austin noted this is one of the biggest bar scene nights of the calendar year, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, as people pile back into town, have tomorrow off, get ready for the family festivities, veg on the couch, maybe help cook and clean up and all that stuff, and then watch some football. But I'll tell you what, they're excited around here. This feels like a little more like a New Year's Eve kind of situation because I know Scott Adib and everybody has been working on this place for quite a while and looking forward to opening it up, and we might be on the verge of it. We don't want to say exactly when that's going to be. It could be as soon as today. It could be closer to Monday. Obviously, when you have inspections and permits and finals and stuff going on, there's a lot to check the box, so makes it a little bit uncertain. But stay tuned, and we'll give you updates throughout the rest of the show if we hear anything as soon as today. But obviously, we're on the verge here at Strings Sports Brewery in Jax Beach. We've been saying Springfield, and that's where we host our Jags Report Live and our Jaguars All Access shows. In fact, tonight at Jaguars All Access will be at Strings in Springfield. Chad Muma and his wife will join us, actually. We're going to talk a little bit about My Cause, My Cleats, and what he has on his cleats and the foundation that he helps promote and use his platform for. So Chad Muma will be our guest over there. The Monday show, Austen Lane, has been over there, and we had a fun time on Monday night when we had Cam Little on the show. It is going to move over to Jax Beach when this opens, so we plan on Monday the show being right here in Jax Beach for Jags Report Live. So stay tuned on all those things, but a lot of work put into this. You can kind of sense a little bit of excitement around here. They are ready to go. The floors were mopped and ready to go, just final touches. And we might even talk to Scott a little bit about the process, because I bet it's a heck of a process putting one of these things together from scratch. We're just going to hang out with the beer.
Yeah, and I'm happy that this is like a mile down from where I live.
Yeah,
so I can
you're welcome.
get on my bike. Yeah, I can get on my bike, man, and come here.
Did you bike here?
No, I didn't bike here, no, because I have to go train after this. So unfortunately, couldn't bike here. But I'd definitely be biking here some more times when I'm going to come back over here.
Great spot. You'll be biking here not just for the show, by the way. I think you'll be biking here to visit.
Oh no, for food,
for
some basic beverages, and I like it too because it's kind of got like a pub feel to it a little bit.
It does. We'll show you a little bit. I took some videos already, so. We'll show you throughout the show as we're going in and out of what this one looks like. A totally different feel, I think, or at least look, of the Springfield location, which is a great location and has done very well, obviously. But this one, if you're wondering, it's on Penman Road. It's the old Terry's, which I had never been to, but I think people in town will know that. And not far from, like, right across from Sonati's, if you know that, on Penman Road. So right here, kind of in the heart of everything, and really excited about it. And you get the sense that this area is excited about it. Not too many things like it here in Jax Beach. With all the growth and the restaurants and establishments, there's a lot of different vibes. I think this one will have a unique vibe to the area. Brent Martineau, Austen Lane, Jason Hamby on a Wednesday, kind of a fun day, right? The day before Thanksgiving. So the next couple of days, everybody else will be out. We'll be out as well with the show. We'll have some special programming running the next couple of days with High School Media Day, High School Hoops, Fall Sports Media Day. So we'll celebrate the high school kids as we get ready for high school football playoffs on Friday. We're in the regional finals. We're 3 wins away from a state championship for a lot of teams, and we still have 8 of them left in the area. Jags get back to work today for real. I mean, I guess they did on Monday. Trevor was practicing. I think we'll get a better idea of what it looks like for Trevor Lawrence today because he'll be practicing. Doug will talk in a little bit. I don't know if he'll shed any light, but I think when that practice report comes out and it either says full practice or limited practice, that might give us a clear indication. I'll just repeat what I said on Monday. All signs point to him playing. I don't know what you are going to see on the practice field. If he's able to practice, it's not like somebody's going to go hit him in the left shoulder.
Yeah, we're not doing like tackling drills right now. Hey, Trevor, let's see if you can take one of these hits here from Josh Hines Allen. Let's see what you got. Like, no, I mean, you obviously there's going to be some risk involved, but if he's shown that he can throw the ball, which I assume he can throw the ball if he's at practice, I think he's going to play as well, especially, a big divisional opponent at home. I hope he does play.
Yeah, and I think it's trending that way, but again, we'll have no idea until he actually laces it up on Sunday against the Houston Texans. Thinking of this in the NFL, I'm a little surprised they don't play a Wednesday night game this week.
I was going to say the same thing, yeah.
I didn't, because they are playing a Wednesday. That's Christmas Day.
Christmas Day, yep. And obviously you got Thursday, you got Friday. Are they playing Saturday as well?
I don't think they're playing Saturday.
Okay. Yeah.
Now they'll play Saturdays later, of course. But I was just thinking, I was like, man, I'm a little surprised the NFL isn't on the Wednesday yet. Now, I wonder if we get to
Give
that
it some
point.
time, bro. I'm sure they'll find some way to make some more money.
They will. But it really throws it off this time of the year, I would think, if you do a Wednesday game. It's already tricky in December, but that's a one-off kind of because of the Christmas holiday falling on a Wednesday, and the Christmas games worked so well for the NFL last year. Obviously, you got your Thanksgiving games, and those will be widely viewed across this country on Thursday. What are your expectations as you sit here? Has anything changed for your Jags thoughts? I mean, are we just in this lull where no expectations now? I don't expect there to be a lot of buzz on Sunday, and I kind of say that with a bit of confidence. I don't think it's going to be buzzing. Now, it's going to be a beautiful football day on Sunday. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if you're tired of the family and hanging out with the family and you want to go watch ball, and we know everybody likes watching ball, it's a great day to go out there. I just don't think – I think the weather might get people out there more than the actual game.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. And it's funny because I feel like we're kind of in like the doldrums right now. If you will, go ahead and Google that one, Brent, when you got a second.
Very good
even
word.
Though the weather's nice and everything. Yeah, I mean, if Trevor's coming back, that could provide a little bit of a bump, a little bit more of excitement. But, I mean, let's call it like it is, right? This team is obviously struggling right now. Coming off of one of the most embarrassing losses of all time to the Detroit Lions. Yeah, and even though it's a divisional game, I feel like Houston, like you alluded to, doesn't really travel that well. So, I mean, I hope people show up, obviously, but, being a holiday and everything, yeah, it could be a little barren.
Yeah, I don't know how to predict it. Again, we've seen some dull games. This one just has no juice around it right now. Maybe mixed in with the holiday, mixed in with the bye week, mixed in with the terrible performance of 2 Sundays ago, and mixed in, of course, with the 2-9 season, which has been a terrible season. So Trevor maybe gives it a little bump. As you think about it that way, let's just assume Trevor plays. Mm-hmm. This was supposed to be, let's say, halfway through last year when the Jags beat the Texans. They beat the Titans and then the Texans in November. Really the last good football games I can remember them actually playing. Jags were hot. As a year ago this week, they were 8-3, number 1 seed, all this excitement, Monday Night Football. That obviously has dissipated. But the other excitement part of that was this is going to be C.J. Stroud and Trevor Lawrence's division to duke it out for the foreseeable future. Now, it's their division still if they want it. I just don't know if it's a heavyweight fight or a pillow fight the moment.
This is more of like the undercard fight, I feel like. This isn't necessarily the main event yet. Now, not to say a couple years down the line it can't be, but I do agree with you. I mean, Stroud has obviously regressed a little bit, I think. And, Trevor, I think, hasn't really hit that next step like we expected him to this season. So, yes, I agree with you there. I mean, listen, if I'm the Jaguars, I try to get as many school kids in there as possible with good grades, and really show, what the capabilities of the youth can do, because we saw at the Iceman game, right? I mean, almost ruptured my eardrums. Imagine 60, 70,000, screaming kids at the same time, screaming Duval, like, hey, Arrowhead, eat your heart out. Hey, Seattle, eat your heart out. Like, you might be setting like a decibel record in Jacksonville if you have that.
What matchups do you get excited about quarterback-wise now? Because you do have that, right? I mean, with Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, they'll usually meet now just about every year, it feels like, because of where they rank in the division.
I still get excited for like Burrow and Lamar Jackson. Those are 2 different types of quarterbacks.
Same division, you know what's going to happen.
It's just like that rivalry and everything. I get excited for that one. I mean, that's a good question.
Because this is supposed to be that. I guess the in-division ones are the best ones. Like Tua and Josh Allen don't seem like it has that yet, even though Tua's played very well when he's played. Mm-hmm. And Josh, it should. But I think the Buffalo Bills seem to have the Dolphins' number so much that it hasn't shaped up like that. You bring up a great one. I think that's right. I think that Lamar Burrow is like, okay, we got 2 guys that you feel like are MVP-type candidates on display. Herbert, I don't think Herbert and Mahomes has developed into this, partly because the Chiefs win most of the
Yeah,
time, right?
but they've had some high-scoring affairs, if I'm not mistaken, though, where Herbert's kind of had some great games. But no, I agree with you. I mean, when it's one-sided, it's kind of hard to like call it a rivalry or anything.
But we do we take a look at that, all four divisions in the AFC, and you've got the opportunity for it for years to come.
Yeah.
You've got Tua, Josh Allen, you've got Lamar, Joe Burrow, you've got Trevor, you've got C.J. Stroud, you've got Mahomes and Herbert. Now you go to the NFC, and I mean, I don't feel that with Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott, but that's because Prescott's been so banged up, maybe, and the Cowboys just aren't good. Are we going to get that with a Jalen Hurts and a Jaden Daniels potentially there? And obviously the Giants don't have one right now.
If you could take one division of quarterbacks, who you taking? Taking the AFC West with Mahomes, Herbert, and Bo, and then whoever the Raiders want to pick? Or do you take, take the NFC East with Jalen Hurts, Dak when he's healthy,
Jaden Daniels.
But,
I mean, is it the NFC North where you now have Caleb Williams in the mix with Jared Goff and Jordan Love
and
Sam Darnold, but might have J.J. McCarthy. That could shape up as a really good one. Keep in mind, when this got reset in the AFC South, we thought that could be the case. Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, Trevor Lawrence, C.J. Stroud.
And now I feel like the AFC South might be like in the bottom last. I mean,
yeah.
Maybe the NFC South?
Not really. I mean, I don't think the NFC South. I think that's why they're all 6-5 and 5-6 in a way,
True.
right? I mean,
so
Baker's been good, but Kirk Cousins, it's funny. That's the quietest year of anybody, maybe in the NFL, is Kirk Cousins.
It's true.
Nobody's talking about him. Is he playing well?
Is he playing well?
Is he playing well, Hamby?
He's about up and down as they come right now.
Is he?
Like they'll go put up 40 points and then they'll go put up 6.
Somebody might have done this already, but this is like how the Barstool label of whatever ranking.
Yes,
you could do this with the quarterbacks in the divisions, the tiers of. But you could have some fun with it because there's something fun, and I'm not smart enough for it. With the NFC South, Baker Mayfield, Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr. Before they get traded away, this really fits. Who am I missing? Oh, Bryce Young. Right. So. And by the way, it was Andy Dalton for a bit.
Yeah.
So it's like the reclamation projects.
Well, and now it's crazy. After one game, all of a sudden people are back on the Bryce Young train.
Pretty wild. One game.
I mean, I understand, Hamby. I don't really get it either. But when you talk about going against one of the best defenses and kind of showing your prowess a little bit, I get the excitement. Now it's a one game, so let's temper expectations. But this is a guy who has shown a lot of bad, and all of a sudden you see some good from him. It's like, okay, well, maybe he has shown that he's maybe capable of being an NFL quarterback.
But I don't think
do you think he gets another run next year?
Off of one game?
If you're the Panthers, is he your starting quarterback next year, though?
Just depends on what he does these next couple weeks.
Well, and to be fair, he's been back for a couple games and won a couple games.
He has. Yeah, he's playing better. I think it's too small to say. He's got more weeds to get out of than just a one game. Now, it was a terrific game against Mahomes, and the last drive, you checked a lot of boxes. Everybody says he watched all 22 of that, and he looked brilliant and made some really good throws. So did they just protect him better? Although, it's a great game for him. It's his breakout game. Now, can he do anything with it, or is he just going to settle back in? Not only because of him, but because they're not good. They're just not a good enough football team. It doesn't feel like to roll things off. If they are, they're only 3 games out. We talked about this. I mean, if they could get on some kind of roll, if they could have pulled the upset over the Chiefs, they'd be 2 games out right now.
Probably would have offered him a new contract.
And also Canales, you got to give them some credit if they're able to figure this out a little bit with Bryce Young. I don't think we're ready to say long term, and I think there's 6 weeks to go in the season for a reason for a guy like Bryce Young. It's just way too small of a sample to come off 1 week. I know we're a what have you done for me lately world, but one game ain't doing it for me.
I had this, I think it was yesterday, in our group chat. What do you think is the acceptable time frame to see if you have a legit quarterback or not? And this is, I'm saying a first-round quarterback.
Yeah.
Right? Because that obviously comes with a little longer of a leash than, if you get a Gardner Minshew here in the 5th, 6th round, it's like, okay, well, we know what you can do. We'll see you later. But when you invest in a first-round pick at the quarterback position, that can take some time. You got to see that through. So, to you, what's the What's the time period?
Yeah, I think you're in that. I think you should be in a 3-year window, right? I think that 3 years can get you now somewhere between 40 and 50 games. So 3 to 4 is okay. I think this 1-year stuff and even 2-year stuff is dangerous, depending on the look of your team, right? Depending on what you've got. But I do think once you're 3 and 4 years in, you got an idea. Now, you might know, sometimes you know early, good or bad. I mean, just sometimes you know good or bad.
And sometimes it's like, it's what you have around your quarterback as well. Like Fields got 3 years in Chicago. They said we're all set, and he goes to Pittsburgh.
Yeah. And like Caleb Williams, will we have a shorter leash because they put everything around him? Maybe, but I also have a number 1 pick, so we'll probably have a long.
Like you're going to be pot committed to him.
Well, and then come back to Trevor on it, right? I mean, Trevor's 4 years in. This is again. Well, I'll just continue to pound the table on this. These last 6 games are important for Trevor Lawrence, because these are the things we're going to talk about. The narratives that get formed on the broad side of all this conversation is: wait a minute, it's been 4 years. What do you mean we don't know? What do we know? That's dangerous 4 years in. And part of this would be because of injury that you don't know. So I think he needs to play. I think he's going to play, but I think he needs to play, stay healthy, get through these 6 games, play some good football, so people like me who believe he is the guy can sit there and be like, look, he is. Even when they were losing games, look, I mean, he was playing better. Look when he went out. Look at the EPA.
Careful, Brent.
You've got to be able to build your case.
It's gonna be the first bar fight in here. If you keep bringing up the EPA, relax.
You got to be able to build your case.
This isn't even opened yet.
And right now, the case is too strong against Trevor for one big reason. The wins and losses haven't been there.
Yeah.
Right? And so people have already, when you make these cases, people have already forgotten about, it was Urban. Okay, well, that was so far ago now. You can't. How long can you say that? The good thing about Trevor is you had a good, 1 year, Brett bridged 2 seasons, but 1 year that was okay. Yeah. This is what it looks like, right? And you had a 7-8 game stretch where it was really good, really, really good. And then even off to an 8-3 start where I think he did a lot of good things. I believe this year he was playing good football in a 4-game stretch. They didn't necessarily win all the games, but I thought he was playing good football. I think he also played a really poor game against Houston and not a great game against Cleveland. So again, we go back and forth. The highs and lows of this are too much for Trevor. That's our criticism of him. It's okay. It can't be that far. It can't be Houston and you name it, first half against Miami, right? It can't be that big of a canyon when you're talking about your franchise quarterback. The floor has to be raised. And again, I'll say it, this 6 games is important for some of that stuff, or the narratives in the offseason, guys. I'm warning you right now. You can write it down. They're not going to be pretty about Trevor. Even though he's been paid, we know he's the guy. They're not going to be pretty because he had missed so many games or the win-loss record isn't good. You can just pile too many things on top of this franchise quarterback here in Jacksonville, and he now has played a lot of football. He's a young person by age at 24. He is not a young person by NFL experience.
So I want to put you guys more in the national pundit shoes here real quick. So if we take, the highest paid quarterbacks right now, and it's starting with Dak Prescott at $60 million a year. Do you think after the season's done, did he earn the money? Did he not earn the money? What do you think the narrative is going to be with Dak Prescott?
Yeah, he didn't.
They don't earn money. Okay.
There's only one guy that's earned money.
Okay.
That's Goff. And Tua now.
You don't think Burrow?
Oh, you're top rate. I thought you meant they got paid this offseason.
Oh, no, I'm just saying the top paid quarterbacks.
Yeah, Burrow does. Burrow's an MVP candidate. I think so. I think so. I think Love is an interesting one because, again, he's kind of Brett Favre-like. It's kind of like what we say. We don't worry about the interceptions for Trevor. Throw interceptions. You got to throw interceptions. Now, hopefully not on first down with a game on the line in Philadelphia. You'd like to avoid those. But you're going to make some bad decisions and throw interceptions because you think you can do everything. The fumbles were the problem with Trevor. Jordan Love, I think they can swallow the interceptions right now. They're going to talk about it for the next 10 years. Get the interceptions down.
Sure.
Well, they talked about it with Brett Favre up in Green Bay for a long time, too. And he never stopped.
No, he didn't.
But he leads, I think NFL history-wise, I think he leads in interceptions.
I think he's still there, yeah.
But he had a great career, so I think it's going to be like that for Jordan Love, but I still put it in my check. Yes, they're in the playoff mix. They're a team that can be dangerous in the playoffs. That's what trumps the interception part of the story.
So you think Trevor
No, I don't think he's earned it.
Okay.
How can you say he earned it? They're 2-9.
Yeah.
And he's already missed a couple of games.
Yep.
And where does this go? But they're 2-9.
Yep.
He has not played good enough football for them with that contract. No, this is.
And then you mentioned obviously Goff has done it like more than anybody.
Great.
I feel like. And then what you said, Tua.
I think Tua's been great, and that's why I wanted to talk a little bit more about Tua, because I don't think we say this enough, and I don't either. I kind of just like, Tua's throwing backyard football up there. It doesn't look great. It's like, I don't understand with that offense why they couldn't get a human being to throw the ball to Waddle and Hill for like 5 weeks or however long he was out. And Tua comes back and he's throwing 4 touchdowns, and they're winning. Like, it's right in front of our face. Like, we can't deny that is Tua. Like, he makes a difference in that offense. He is worth the money.
Yeah.
Because of that. Now, you were screwed up and didn't get a good backup quarterback and stuff like that, because you better do that with Tua in his career. You never know when he's going down.
Yep.
So, but I've been I am so surprised that Tua makes that much of a difference in their offense. With all due respect, I don't mind Tua. I think he's okay. I just don't feel like it's wow, right?
No,
and he is throwing to really good
give
players.
Him more of the Brock Purdy effect, where he plays in an offense that is very quarterback friendly, where you think he's going to shine no matter what. And yeah, I almost agree with you here, but then I think it does speak volumes when you have your backups come in and they can't even get Tyreek Hill.
They even get a first down.
Get Jalen Waddle the ball.
I mean, they were immobile on offense. And it's not like Hill and Waddle were out.
Yeah.
And they Achane and all those guys. So I give Tua a lot of credit. He's earned a lot of my respect this year. I mean, I always liked him anyway.
Especially the guy that was on the cusp of not even playing again.
Oh, yeah.
It seemed like.
I mean, he's brought them back and put them in contention. And with the way the AFC standings are, they are really in contention because everything's bottled up. I mean, quite frankly, the Cincinnati Bengals are still very. If you had 4 wins right now, you are very much in contention.
Yeah.
In the AFC. So the quarterback stuff's fascinating, but the problem here in Jacksonville is we can't say that about the guy here. And I don't even think it's all his fault, but the bottom line is we can't say it. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. Doesn't matter what it is. We can't say it. We can't say yet. Now, what we'd love to be able to do is say, you know what? He wasn't playing bad football overall for a stretch. He goes out. Mac Jones couldn't even play good enough. These guys couldn't function.
No, it's the Tua effect, man.
And he comes back. Now, can Trevor come back and give you that Tua bump here in the last 6 weeks and elevate this offense? It would be a very good thing to be able to say and a narrative to have. Again, that's my importance of these final 6 weeks at shaping the storylines of the offseason and going forward.
It would be a fantastic sign, especially against, the Jets right now, for whatever reason, are giving up a lot of points. You have the Titans, who are actually playing some pretty good defense, but let's be honest, Titans always kind of have the Jaguars number, so that's kind of a couple games where you want to get back. So yeah, it's going to be a showcase to me to show how important Trevor is to this team. And obviously we know he's important already, right? But I think these past couple games that he's been absent, it really magnified everything, where it's like, well, we can't even have a halfway decent, like an efficient offense with Mac Jones in there. Like, we saw it, and it doesn't work. So yes, you need Trevor Lawrence back.
Hamby, what's the significance of the last 6 weeks here for Trevor Lawrence? And I'll throw one more thing your way before we hit a break. It might be the attractive nature. What he does could be the attractive nature of a coach that might be coming in here. You might be looking at this 6-game sample, and it might be buoyed by the fact that, hey, look what they did when he wasn't in. Look what he did when he is in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you would like to think that he's put enough on tape and just who he is and everything around him that a head coach still wouldn't need to see that. They would have all the proof they need previously and already, obviously, but it wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt for momentum's sake, and especially if there's, maybe, for example, 2 teams were on the cusp of getting a Ben Johnson. He's looking at 2 teams, and Trevor goes 1-5 and doesn't look all that great over his last 6 versus goes 4-2 and looks like the guy that he was at times last year or earlier during the 4-game stretch this year. Could that put a guy over the top, that he's coming in with an offense that at least has momentum, that showed a little bit of grit also? I think it's more about Trevor, but I think it's just about the offense in general for a potential new head coach of, look, I can get stuff out of this offense. They're because obviously we know that a lot of head coaches have pride and ego, and as we say, rightfully so. But you would like them to think, looking at our offense over the last 6 weeks, they're me away from being a top 5-10 offense, right? They're me away from scoring 30 points a game. If I was plugged in, I could do this versus, they need a lot more than just me.
Yeah, it's a good point. All right, we're taking a time out from Strings Sports Brewery here in Springfield. Got a lot going on today and a lot of options, including the Jacksonville Icemen are home tonight at 7 o'clock. It's Gobble Wobble Day.
Oh, I like it.
Gotta love it.
Let's go.
Gobble up the deal for $35. Get a ticket to the Icemen and access to an exclusive beer reception tonight, 7 o'clock. At the Jacksonville Icemen game, so you can go jacksonvilleicemen.com to purchase your ticket. And calling all healthcare workers as well. Your hard work deserves a hockey night out with the Icemen, not only today, but also on the November 30th, so in a few days as well. Healthcare Appreciation Weekend with the Jacksonville Icemen. For more details, check it out at jacksonvilleicemen.com. And a beautiful day here in Jacksonville on Thanksgiving Eve. We're back on the Brent Austen Show on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network from Strings Sports Brewery, the newest location in Jax Beach. It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
Building off a summer of terrific action at Southern Oaks Stadium, the Jacksonville Armada are looking forward to the future and the return of pro soccer in Northeast Florida. Season ticket reservations for MLS Next Pro are underway, and for just $100, you can lock in some great benefits when it comes to supporting the boys in blue. Those who make a reservation will have first selection options in the new Armada Stadium out east, near Jacksonville's downtown sporting complex, as well as access to supporter VIP events like stadium tours, open training sessions, and future meet and greets with players and coaches. You can make your season ticket reservations at jacksonvillearmada.com/ticket, and while you're there, read the very latest on the Armada men's and women's teams in action this summer. Show your commitment to the fleet with an MLS Next Pro season ticket reservation at jacksonvillearmada.com/ticket.
In Northeast Florida, we love hanging out on the back patio, maybe grilling out lunch or dinner with the family, enjoying the good weather, or maybe enjoying the big game on the TV. Or maybe your favorite team in town, the Action Sports Jax team. This is great, except for when it's really hot or the bugs start coming out. But what if you didn't have to worry about that? Titan Outdoor Solutions will make your outdoor area a comfortable spot any time of the day, any time of the year. This makes too much sense. Titan Outdoor Solutions can give your home an upgrade. Customized pergolas, awnings, controlled shade, even retractable screens. The solution to beating the heat and the bugs and getting more use out of your home is Titan Outdoor Solutions. And this can even help prevent storm damage at your home. Living in Florida and living in your home is already good. Now make it great. Quality products, custom work, locally owned and operated. Visit TitanShuttersAndScreens.com or call 904-484-7580. It's the place we party in football season with Jaguars All Access. Welcome to Strings Sports Brewery, everybody. Say hello to our guest tonight. That is Trevor Lawrence. You can bring your party or event to Strings Sports Brewery in Springfield any day and any time. Rehearsal dinners, corporate events, birthdays. Here at Strings, you can enjoy the inside area and the outside area. Good for any weather, good for any occasion. Watch the games, play the games, shoot some hoops. Beer? Yeah, they have that. Plenty of choices. And sure, this is a brewery, but Strings is also a restaurant, and the food is fantastic. A full menu made from scratch meals. And if you need Strings Sports Brewery to help with a party at your place, they cater too. Family, beer, food, sports. Strings Sports Brewery in Springfield. Welcome to Everbank Stadium. We call the stadium the bank. Here inside the Jaguars locker room, this is called the Vault. The Vault is a special place on game days. You can feel the energy and excitement as the Jaguars get ready to take the field. And Everbank has made a way for Jaguars fans to be a part of the action. Each home game, Everbank will select a winner and a guest to be a part of the Shadows. Be there up close and personal when the Jaguars leave the Vault to take the field. Not only that, the Vault Lounge provides a VIP pregame tailgate experience. High-end food, beverages, music, and more. Want a chance to be part of a VIP experience at a Jaguars game? Enter today at everbank.com/shadows, and you could find yourself in the shadows with the Jaguars.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Hey, welcome back here to Strings Sports Brewery in Springfield. Brent Martineau Austen Lane, and we are here at the new location in Jax Beach. I'm so used to saying Springfield, and I have to retrain myself. Say Strings Sports Brewery in Springfield. Strings Sports Brewery in Jax Beach, and this one's opening up. Anytime now.
Yeah.
I can't really tell you exactly when. I kind of want to keep telling you, it could open here, but not going to do that just yet because I want to make sure some of the things get checked still. And we might talk to owner Scott Adib about the whole process here in a little bit. We got Martin Buckley coming up. Brian Thomas Jr. signing around the corner. If you're looking for something next week, we'll tell you all about that. Obviously, some excitement around the Jaguars rookie, and Doug Peterson talking here in a little bit, so we should get an update, if any, I doubt much, on Trevor Lawrence and what else is going on with the Jags. You went over to the Murray State game, the Jacksonville Classic. I was there in the afternoon.
Yep.
We've got some fun stuff going on. There were 4 games yesterday, I want to say. I think it was 4 because Tulsa beat Detroit Mercy.
Okay.
And then I think Austin P was victorious.
Dang it.
I think they were.
Okay.
I know, one of your old rivals.
Old rivals.
And then Murray State played UT Arlington and
Correct.
won.
Took care of business, yeah.
And then FSCJ, we're going to have to get out there and cover some FSCJ in our sports department on TV because they're good. They're like top 10 in the country in the junior college ranks, and they're undefeated. And they played in the nightcap, so they played at night after all those games. Now, not a part of the tournament. They just played after all those games.
Yeah.
So there are 3 more or at least 3 more games today. My Rotary Rams will play at noon.
Okay.
And then they also play tomorrow as well. They're the only game on Thanksgiving Day over there at FSCJ South Campus. And we were talking yesterday, like, what is this tournament all about? We're all trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
It was a one-off game for Murray State. You got an explanation.
Yeah.
And what was it?
So supposedly what happened is that last year there was an agreement for Arlington and Murray State to play. For whatever reason, the game didn't come to fruition, so they had to play it this year. Arlington didn't want to travel to Murray. Murray didn't want to travel to Arlington. So then Arlington said, hey, we're playing in Jacksonville. Do you want to come down here? We have an extra day, so then you can play us, in quote-unquote, the tournament setting, but it'll just be a one-off. And Murray State agreed to that. So, yeah, Murray State's in town just for that one game. And Brent, the Murray State faithful were in full effect last night. All 8 of us, I think. A very intimate setting, if you will. But it was crazy, man, because, obviously, it's a junior college gym, so it reminded me kind of like a high school gym. No knock on it.
It's a nice gym.
It's a great gym. It wasn't a bad seat in the house, but it was a little, I don't say it was awkward, but it was something when Murray State scores and I cheer and my voice is echoing and players on the bench, from Murray State are looking at me like, yeah, all right, man, let's go Racer Nation. So
we got Rhodey and Detroit Mercy today at 2:30 Tulsa, Georgia State, and then UT Arlington and Austin P play tonight at 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hold
if
on
you want to watch some ball, it's good basketball. What you got?
Well, based off the conversation we had yesterday, Austin, have we heard how things went? Was there a regret?
Oh, with the movie?
Of course.
Nah. That's I forgot about that. Good call, Hamby. So my son's movie started at 7:30. So he got home probably like around 10ish or so. And so I was like, call him up, check in and everything. And I'm like, dude, how was the movie? He's like, it was good. It was good. He's like, it was better than the first one even. I'm like, oh, wow, that must be really good then. He's like, yeah. And then he's like, how was the game? And, I could have been humble about it. I could have said, yeah, it was okay. I mean, Murray State played really well. Probably should have beat him more than like by 10 or 12 or whatever it was, but it was a game. But no, man, I mean, I had to tell him the full effect. Dude, it was the best. I was sitting baseline the whole time. I was right next to the players. Sent him a video. Sent him an action video when we're on the phone of a dunk I was standing right next to. So, yeah, but I don't think there's any regret. He still had fun and everything, but I had to make him feel a little bad about it, Brent.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying?
I like that you're not afraid to twist that.
No,
thing.
don't say you're going to go to Murray State and play, with the school that I played for, and not go out and support in Jacksonville.
You got to go do it.
Yeah.
And you found there's a golfer that lives in town that went to Murray State. You actually went to class.
So it's a small world. So Jared Wolf, who's on the PGA Tour, I think he's on the Corn Ferry. Corn-fed Ferry, the
Corn-fed Ferry,
the Corn-fed Ferry tour, and we actually had a class together. Because I go up to him like, dude, you look really familiar. He's like, yeah, you're the guy that we were in I think it was a civ class, and our teacher like had like a nervous tick or something. So looking back on it, not funny now, but at the time funny, where she would say a certain word, like she's a certain phrase, like, all right, are we paying attention, something like that.
Okay,
and I would make a tally in class of every time she would say that like phrase, and then I'd hold it up for everybody, and she wouldn't know it. So Jared, who's on the PJ Tour, is like, yeah, because you're the guy who used to hold up like the kind of the clipboard of like when she would say the word. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember you now. Yeah. So, but no,
forget Austen Lane, isn't it?
I guess so, man, for sure. But no, he's got it made. So he lives in Nocatee. He has his PGA Tour card, so he gets all access to Sawgrass, everything like that. So anytime he wants to go there and hang out, he can go there.
Yeah, that's one nice thing about being a player and having your card, man. That's your course. It's your event. It's your that's cool. We have to get him on the show. I did not know there was a Murray State racer.
Yeah, I had no idea till last night.
We were saying I was talking. I had dinner with my mentor Stevie Mack last night in Ponte Vedra, and they were saying, man, Murray State, Rhode Island would have been a great game.
Come on.
Or it could have been a great game. I mean, Rhode Island's undefeated right now. They feel like they're pretty good. I don't know if they're great, but Murray State's always pretty good, right? Mm-hmm. So that would have been a nice matchup.
Yeah.
But also, you're looking at a bunch of teams. These things get figured out a couple of years in advance.
Sure.
And so it's based a little bit on how you play, and Rhodey hasn't played that well the last couple of years. So you get in a tournament where, like Detroit Mercy, they were 1-28 or something last year, 1-29, something like that. So it's not a great... Now, these teams might be better than their names. They just don't have a lot of name cachet with them right now coming in here. The other thing that we figured out was they're all staying at one hotel.
Yeah.
In Ponte Vedra.
Yep.
So we're asking, like, what is this tournament? How are they doing this? It might be hotel driven is what we got down to. We're still not sure, but I didn't think about that part. Might be a lot of like heads in beds for the hotel.
Makes sense.
So it's like, okay, we'll work together, bring an event here. It's a slower time of year to get people in a hotel.
People are going to be traveling, staying in hotels.
Or staying with family, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So that could be part of it.
Makes sense. Yeah, and when you say it's all in the name, I mean, with a team like Detroit Mercy, I mean, it seems like you have to be offering them some mercy if you won one game last year in college basketball.
I think if we had asked, like, I keep seeing Titans because that's their nickname.
Okay.
And I feel like that's changed. I don't feel like that was always their nickname. Yeah. But maybe it was. But I'm just like, if we had a poll out there that said Detroit Mercy, what's their nickname? Nobody's getting it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get it.
So,
nobody's getting it.
And so these games weren't on ESPN Plus last night, so they're on like some separate streaming service. I think it was like
it's on like this Baller
TV, I think, or something. Yeah.
It's an
anyways, so because the Murray State, there was a Murray State guy that was helping call the game.
Oh, okay.
So then they brought me at halftime.
Oh, so did you do something at halftime?
Oh yeah, I did something at halftime. And I also gave you a shout out too. I'm like, man, we try to get a Rhode Island Murray State game, so we could call it whatever. But they asked me like, all right, so who's your next opponent going to be? Who do you want to fight next in the UFC? And I go, I mean, I'm open to anybody, but if there's an Austin P fan here, I'm down to do that too. And they kind of like abruptly like cut me off. I'm joking. But obviously, they didn't really know my sense of humor, I think. So,
whoa.
Yeah, because like the Austin P was rolling deep. I saw there's a lot of fans.
There were. Mm-hmm. Tell those guys we say a lot worse here in 3 hours.
Yeah, come on, man. Let's go. I mean, come on. This is the Pat McAfee era now, right? We can say whatever you want to say.
It's not like you asked them to fight Ian Rappaport.
Yeah, exactly.
On Mike Malarkey's behalf.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of, and Hamby, I don't know if we have that since we
got it.
Maybe you do have that.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently
Segue,
that
baby.
got brought up again. McAfee has Aaron Rodgers on the show yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's become a little bit of a thing. Take a listen on the McAfee show yesterday.
I have been to dinner with Woody before. It's been a little while, but yeah, no, I have a lot of gratitude for all the Johnsons for bringing me in. Had some good conversations over the last 2 years. But no, like I would say, Chris is maybe around a little bit more than Woody. He'll come on the road trips with us on the plane. So I've had more conversations, I would say, with Christopher than Woody. But no, I got a lot of love and appreciation and gratitude for all the Johnsons.
Okay, because we heard, you hated them, and that's why anybody but the Jets, and then yada, yada, yada. It's a never ending. It's crazy. Do you send texts from fake phones and be like, hey, straight out of Aaron Rodgers camp? Like the Vrabel move.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Or was it Vrabel, or who was the coach that lied to Rappaport? Who was it? Mularkey?
Mike Mularkey.
Did you hear about this?
I did hear about that. Yeah, it was genius.
Okay. All right, so you put that one down. Aaron put that one down in the old booth. All right, let's talk about this week.
I don't think there's a lot of, there's not a lot of journalistic integrity anymore.
What? Standards.
It's the standards are what they are. There's.
Come on.
Listen, I think some of the stuff that I've read, I would say the majority is limited in its truth and questionable in its content. Meaning, I don't understand why some of the articles were written last year, because it seemed like they were really trying to ruin people's lives.
Got it.
Now, that being said, I don't understand why people would talk to some of these people. Like, maybe it's just me in my world. I don't know anybody in my world that goes online and trolls people's social media. Like, they're in the comments all the time. I don't have nobody that I have a relationship with that does that.
AJ does.
I don't have anybody. I don't believe that it's in my inner circle that would spend any time talking to a reporter about other people or trying to slam them or protect themselves. But unfortunately, this business has turned into a lot of cover your ass, And I guess that's why that's part of what this is people are trying to cover their ass. So they got to, have a fall guy. It was Hackett. It was Robert. It was Joe. Then it's me. And that's fine. I can take it. I don't care. And those guys can too. I mean, still talk to Robert a lot. He's doing great. He's totally fine. But it's still like the slander that went his way, I think, was totally unfair. The slander that went Hack's way and has gone Todd's way. It's just it's interesting, the motivation behind people who would try and leak things, and then again, the actual content and the fact around the leaking is usually very very limited, I would say. Every now and then they have some stuff that's right on. You're like, what? How'd they get that?
Yes. Agreed.
But I would say a lot of times it's either
Close.
over exaggerated or just not really that close to the truth.
Yeah, it's an interesting gig that they have, because they can assume that a source is good, but who knows if source is actually good, but they can say source should be good because of this particular person. Then the information that they have to confirm on the other side, it is a timeless job.
Then there's emotion, there's emotions, there's perspective that informs. If the three of us on the screen here all saw the same thing, we maybe wouldn't have the same experience. So your version of what actually happened, AJ, is usually false, but your version of what happened is going to differ slightly from what happened to Pat and what happened to me. And then when there's emotions involved and you're covering your ass a little bit, then it's easy for things to be exaggerated past the point of, what actually happened in the situation, obviously. So it is, it's the environment that we're in. I won't say they've gotten everything wrong. There's been some things that they've definitely gotten right. Usually not high percentage when it comes to me. Every now and then they get something and I'm like, damn, how'd they know that? But I would say more often than not, they're like, that never happened. That's
yeah. So your world is a little bit different than I think everybody else's, because everything you do has been covered.
All right, thanks. Bring it back out. Can't roll the whole Pat McAfee show here on the show.
The Pat McAfee hour.
Maybe a little bit long there. But first, a couple of things. He loved the malarkey stuff, obviously.
Yeah, man.
Genius.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
It is something that Aaron Rodgers might think about too.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's very anti, the media, things like that.
Anti-establishment, right?
Anti-establishment. Sweet Saturn shirt, by the way, he was rocking.
I know.
Yeah, man. Hey.
Listen, I listened to a lot of that yesterday. He's fascinating. Listen, and he seems to keep it pretty real.
Yeah.
But there are a bunch of rumors coming out Saturday, Sunday on him, and I always like these topics. I like the topic about the journalistic stuff. The Rappaport got all mad about the malarkey stuff, and Rossini. And I'm not bashing it. I'm just saying there's stuff that gets thrown out. She had Doug Marrone fired a few years ago, absolutely fired, and it wasn't true. He came back, so. I agree with what he's saying here. Where do they get some of this stuff? But to me, it's a bigger picture deal. It's hard to. Their job is to put stuff out. Okay, so this isn't digging on them. Their job is to be an insider, which means when you're on shows all the time, you got to come up with. You're expected to come up with something. I relate it to Bill Murray. He's a funny guy, right? So if he walks in here, he's got to be funny.
He's got to be on.
Right? He's got to be on. Because the reason why you know Bill Murray is because he's funny. He might be the greatest guy in the world. And I've heard he is a great guy.
Yes.
But he's also funny. That's what you want to see. Well, for these guys, anytime Ian Rappaport, Schefter, or any of these people go up on TV or anywhere else on a show, it's okay, what do you know? What do you know?
Yeah.
Give us something. Well, that's a hard thing to always have something that's going to break. So I think you get forced into it. This is why I was kind of chuckling a couple of weeks ago with Josina Anderson and Rappaport when they had the Doug stuff. If they lose, this might happen. If not, down the road.
Keep an eye on.
Give us every freaking scenario possible.
Yeah, because you don't want to stay true to it, because in case you're wrong, then you look bad.
Yeah, so, we can all do that. Guess what? Trevor Lawrence is practicing. He's tracking toward playing this week. If he doesn't play, Mac Jones will be the guy, and they'll see if he can go next week. We can all do that. That's not a hard thing to do. You know nothing. When you're doing that, you really don't know anything. It's not substantiated. But I think what Rodgers brings up is actually more interesting to me as it pertains to even Jacksonville and the way the NFL works. What I always say is the walls start talking. And that's what Rodgers is referring to. Rodgers is there's nobody in my circle that's going to sit there and tell Brent Martineau or somebody else this.
Yes.
And listen, I know a lot of different players. We interact with a lot of players, and I can kind of agree with they're not sitting there wanting to tell you X, Y, Z.
So the only way I can see actually happening is if a player or a coach is disgruntled and they're upset.
Yeah.
And then they want to get it out there.
And that's what he's referring to. Yep. He's there's more of that CYA of, first of all, I'm mad at somebody else, so I'm going to have an agenda.
Correct.
And that's why you see stuff come out of buildings. That's why I think you started to see those reports a couple of weeks ago, because whoever Josina, Ian Rappaport were talking to, that was coming from an assumption of, well, the way this business works is if we get our ass kicked against the Lions, we're probably gone. That was it. I can guarantee you that's how it happened. Yeah. Now, the other thing is, if you start, what we could see reports over these next 6 weeks, if somebody like a Balky or a Peterson thinks they've got a chance to save the job over the other guy, well, now we might see some of their camp start leaking stuff out and going out. That's how this stuff works. And that's really what I found interesting about what Aaron Rodgers, he's where does this stuff come from? Why would you do that? We're all in the same, he's almost in disbelief. We're all in this together. And I've long said that. I've long said the fact that this is one of the most highly accountable businesses that exist in our world. The NFL, you go back and watch practice later, you watch the games later. If you did a bad job, you get your butt called out in front of 50 other guys. There's if somebody messes up here, they're not bringing them to the center of the room and calling them out. They do that in the NFL, right? Yeah. They call you out in the NFL on every week.
Where it goes.
Yet, when the crap hits the fan in this tough business, and you're supposed to be a team, and it's the ultimate team game, everybody does this. It's his fault. Not everybody, but people do that. And that's what goes on, and that's what if they continue to lose in Jacksonville, if it already hasn't happened, we're going to get more of that over the next 6 weeks. And Aaron Rodgers is why do we do that? That's stupid.
And this is why I always feel obviously you're one of the good ones, Brent, but I feel like there's such a disconnect between sometimes the national media and football players, because when the national media makes a mistake, there really is no accountability. It's like, oh, yeah, I just got it wrong. It's okay.
That's it.
You know, like if you're a football player, you drop a ball, yeah, you get called out in front of everybody. You feel bad about it. You feel embarrassed about it. I'm sure the national media person feels embarrassed about it. I'm sure they get a lot of comments on Twitter and everything like that. But at the end of the day, there's really no accountability because you still keep on going on reporting, keep doing your job. In the NFL, it can cost you your job, right? So I think that's like the full-fledged difference right there. And I get it, man. I don't want to go on a soapbox of like national media and leaking things out and stuff. Like, I get everyone's got a job to do, but like I'm still, you know, it still kind of irks me a little bit when like players find out from Adam Schefter, or Ian Rappaport, when families find out on the internet, like, hey, you know, guess what? We got to move because Ian Rappaport said so or Adam Schefter said so. And then I remember back to the whole Andrew Luck thing, and this was Adam Schefter, right? I think it was. When Andrew Luck was getting ready to retire, and obviously I'm sure he wanted to do it his own. Now, thankfully, Andrew Luck's a cool dude, and I don't think he didn't really care about the moment of the spotlight of all the attention on him.
Yeah.
But it would have meant a lot more, I feel like, if he would have got to tell his team, like, hey, I'm walking away, I'm done playing football, as opposed to a tweet coming out during whatever the third or fourth quarter of a football game, and now everybody knows about it. Like, you completely killed the moment, I feel like.
Yeah, and listen, this is not rocket science, okay? Why we get this and why these guys get this is, first of all, they have powerful platforms from ESPN and NFL Network. I mean, look at what happened with the Malarkey stuff. I mean, when Ian Rappaport put that out on Friday, that thing has, I don't even know, I stopped looking at it, like 4 million views.
Yeah.
4 million views. I mean, we can't put anything out that even comes close to that but he can boost it. I mean, it's in the New York Post not because Malarkey said it on our show. It's because Rappaport responded to it.
Correct.
Right? So that's a pretty powerful platform, quite frankly. And so that's one reason. If you want to get the word out, and this is a little bit on agents and buildings and other things, like, you could still do things on a local level. You don't have to, every time there's something big, have to go to the big guy. But that's the view of the agents and everything else. There's one other caveat here. The agents and the people in the buildings, the reason why they'll offer information up is because they usually will get information from Rappaport, Schefter, about something else.
Of course.
Like, hey, what are you hearing about this? Because they're hearing a lot of different things. They're talking to a lot of different people. Well, local guy, Brent, I can't really, hey, I'll buy you a beer at Strings. I mean, like, what am I giving you up? I don't know what the hell's going on in New York. You know what I mean? So that's, just to give you an idea, that's how it works. And I'm not, like, bitter about that. It's just reality. That's the way that works. There's one other element here, to your point about the Luck stuff and anything. And this is why Rodgers probably hears this stuff. The buildings talk, okay? Like, there are people in the buildings rooting against ex-player, ex-coach, the team to fail because they don't like them for whatever reason. Maybe they didn't treat them right. Well, the one other thing that we have in just a human nature deal, if you know something, or if you think you know something, and you have something that nobody else has heard, you can't wait to tell somebody. That's just light. I mean, listen, I'm guilty of it sometimes too. You want to tell somebody, even though you can't tell everybody. But like, hey, I got to tell you this, right? That's where these guys really win. Because if somebody's got a nugget, very few people want to sleep on that nugget and just be like, I'm the only person that knows. That takes an incredible amount of discipline to not tell anybody the nugget that you have.
You know what I'm surprised to mention about just the buildings and everything and the team dynamic? I forgot what I was watching. It might have just been like NFL Live or something, but they're talking about Bill Belichick, how he almost got the job in Atlanta. But there was like a contingent that didn't. So there was two contingents. One contingent wanted Bill Belichick, thought he could change the culture around, thought he could elevate the team, thought he could do some great things in Atlanta. And the other side was like, we don't want Bill Belichick. He's too old. Like, he's not going to be able to relate to the players. All this stuff. It's going to be a nightmare. And obviously, the side that didn't want Bill Belichick won. But like, it's surprising how like it's the ultimate team game, right? So you need everybody on the same page. And there was like essentially a civil war within the Falcons organization of, do we bring Bill Belichick in or not?
Yeah, and I think that's real. I think that happens. I think there are people in the Jax building, quite frankly, you can name them. I don't know. They might be the chef. They might be the janitor that don't like a Trent Baalke or side with a Peterson, or like, these things happen. And then stuff bubbles from there, especially when you lose. That's why I always say there's a level of toxicity that exists in a building. There's also winning squashes that, losing exposes that. And the Jags Jags have actually managed this pretty well despite being 2-9. You don't hear the stuff coming out of New York and the other places.
You're not wrong.
It's actually pretty admirable. or what the Jags have been able to at least squash to this
That's
point.
what happens when you have good players like Brian Thomas Jr., obviously, who is a little more quiet and reserved. You imagine if Malik Neighbors was here?
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, and
Talk
he's
about
not
the New York
alone.
Post. Yeah.
Or if Jalen was still here, or something like that, right? I mean, definitely those kind of guys. All right, let's do this. We got to take a timeout. When we come back, speaking of Brian Thomas Jr.
Come on, Brent. You know what I'm doing here.
Segue, man.
Stockton to Malone. Let's go, man. What are we doing here,
I'm
man?
going to dunk it. Actually, no, it's Malone to Stockton. I'll just shoot the three.
There we go.
When we come back, we're live at Strings Sports Brewery here in Jax Beach. We visit with Martin Buckley from Palm Beach Autographs. Tell you how you can see Brian Thomas Jr. next week. We'll tell you all about it. Coming up next. If you need a quality play this football season at your home, call That One Painter First Coast. Locally owned and operated, experienced employees, no builder-grade materials. And there's more, and for that, we throw it to Noah Schlicksup. That One Painter First Coast can apparently help your kicking game, too.
Well, after my failure on skinny sticks last year on Creekside game day, I've spent a lot of time out here at Creekside practicing my kicks. There's only one issue. How is that even possible? The good news is I know exactly who can help. That One Painter can handle all your painting needs, from field goal posts to cabinets to stucco. They got you covered. Though they may not be able to help with my kicking, they can certainly help with the posts. Call That One Painter First Coast today for all your painting needs at 904-495-1373.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jax 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Right now, save $1,000 or more when you bundle a Connecticut Premier Softener with a Connecticut K5 drinking water system. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Ask about our 90-day love it or leave it guarantee. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
For the game day hustle and every day in between. Juggling my show, Jag Social, to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament. But this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game. But with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive your passion.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Hey, Tyler Shatley is back, kind of out of the blue. I thought he was headed into retirement. He got cut at the end of camp. 10-year guy, 140 consecutive games played, holds a franchise record for that. Good guy. And they signed him to the practice squad. So there's a couple of thoughts going in my mind. And Doug did talk today. I haven't seen it yet, so maybe he acknowledged it. Do they need a little beef on the offensive line? They can call him up 2 times in the last 6 games to play. Is this a little ceremonial where he might retire as a Jag, like officially after, I don't know, but he obviously stayed in shape and is ready to go for the Jacksonville Jaguars if needed. Back in.
Well, picked a hell of a season to come back and retire for, Brent.
Well,
way to go out on top.
He actually picked a hell of a season to miss the first 11 games.
That's a good point.
Like that.
Yeah, maybe he comes back and plays and start winning again. Hey, now new contract, a little negotiation tactic. I'm not mad at that.
That could be it. Brent Martineau along with Austen Lane. Hey, it's a Whataburger Wednesday, by the way. You can tell Austin
rocking the orange.
Wears the orange shirt.
Yeah.
So check out all the Whataburger locations here in Jacksonville, and of course all the different things going on here in the month of November. You have a few more days. We had those shakes a couple of weeks ago, and we were out at the yards. Ooh, they were good. If you haven't tried them, I'll give you more information on those in just a little bit.
I didn't even tell you. I tried every one of those burgers that night after training too, as well. Yeah, well, the sandwiches. Because there's 3 of them. They all hit the spot, Brent.
You got
now,
the bob.
maybe you shouldn't have did it at the exact same time and ate all of them, but yeah,
that's aggressive.
I was satisfied.
That's aggressive. Hey, let's welcome in America's guest. That's what I call him. His name is Martin Buckley from Palm Beach Autographs, and they got some fun stuff going on. What's up, my man? How you doing?
What's up, my friends? Good to see you guys.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you and the beautiful family. And
thank you, brother.
How many concerts have you seen in the last 2 months?
Oh, dude, I've been on an epic run. A lot with my kids, which has been really fun. Bring your kids to see their favorite concerts, right, Austin?
Absolutely, man. I brought my son to the Avett Brothers. They're the first band he ever listened to when he was born was the Avett Brothers. I played it in the emergency room there when he was born.
He didn't know any better.
Yeah, I'm sure the nurses were really impressed as I bring a speaker in and playing some music and everything. But hey, you got to start them out young.
That's all. It's the truth, man. I was at Avett with my daughter. I saw Austin there. I've seen Sabrina Carpenter, Billie Eilish, Benson Boone, Olivia Rodrigo. I've been doing like the kid tour, which has been fun. But so in the last month or two, probably like 7 or 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have a favorite?
I'll tell you. So I'm a huge Avett Brothers fan, like Austin. So they were incredible as always. But Benson Boone was a lot of fun. Olivia Rodrigo was incredible, and that was actually a little while ago. Chapel Roan opened for her, and now she's like a huge star.
Yeah, she's like the biggest thing going on right now.
So that was very cool to see her like right before. That was in March, actually, so that was a while back. But Billie Eilish crushed it live. If you guys if you get a chance to see Billie, she was a lot of fun. So that's my Austin and I are going to do a music show one of these days.
One of these days, man. Yep, we got to get a production.
You guys will be very good at it.
And then, Brent, you asked who Chapel Roan was. She was the girl that was singing the song at the hockey game when I was singing the HOT.
Oh, yeah, that's her.
That's Chapel Roan.
That was a hot song.
Really big with the youth right now.
Yeah, yep, that was good.
Martin got it. Yeah.
Hey, you got Brian Thomas Jr. coming out Tuesday to the Avenue store, huh?
Yeah, we're excited. Brian's had an unbelievable year. He's going to be at the Jax store from 6:30 to 8. We're hosting him with our friends from Fanatics. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them. They're an upcoming business. But they're great friends of ours, and we're happy that they'll let us host their client. And he's been a bright spot in kind of a year.
Yeah.
But fans are excited to come out and see him, and we're excited to have everybody out for a Jag signing.
So, hey, that's 6:30 to 8, and Jags fans are really in love with Brian Thomas Jr., and they should be right now. There's not a lot to like about this season, but he seems like an incredible player. He's off to a heck of a start. I think the last 6 games are really a lot about him and Trevor Lawrence, and can you finish off a rookie year that goes over 1,000 yards for Brian Thomas Jr.? So there's a lot still to play for the Jags, but how do folks kind of get out there? They just come? They have to register in advance? What's the deal?
Yeah, you can do both. You can go to our website, palmbeachautographs.com. Tickets are for sale on the website right now. We don't anticipate, getting to a point where we'll have to cut it off where it's like, we've had to do in the past with like Mike Tyson and things like that. So if you just want to come up on the day of the signing, cruise by, we'll have tickets available. He's going to be there for a good while signing. So just swing by the store, or if you want to purchase them in advance, go to palmbeachautographs.com.
Yeah, I mean, the cut off the line stuff will come probably for me. As Ty has said, I'm having a breakout season. So, I mean, I'm waiting for the phone call, Martin.
Every time I turn around, my Twitter feed is just, but I mean, that's what we get, man. You're so, I think that's just your personality coming out, man. You're blooming right in front of our eyes.
Well, you got Austin. He wins his UFC fight. Look at that, another UFC contract.
Yeah.
I mean, this might be the first show you've ever signed.
We've talked about it. I think it needs to happen. Let's do it, dude. Let's do on air. And then what we can do is we can put we'll do it for charity. And we'll put like a little bowl in front of each of you. And then there has to be like a prize for whoever has the most tickets.
I like it.
I like that.
Everyone's going to bring in like their hey dude shoes for Brent to sign and everything. So I feel like I'm at a disadvantage already, but I get it.
It's an uphill battle.
It's an uphill battle.
There it is, Brian Thomas Jr. coming on Tuesday, which is perfect, by the way, because we've got our show that I think is going to be out here, Jags Report Live. We're still working on a guest for Monday, and then you can get over to the Avenues Mall on Tuesday, hang with the Jags, hopefully coming off a win, try to get some momentum around here. Speaking of momentum, you guys have a ton of it at Palm Beach Autographs, man. I did not know this was in the works until I started to see. I mean, you guys are going up to Nashville. You just told me getting a location in Beverly Hills. You're all over the place.
It's been exciting. We opened Nashville last month. The store is incredible. It's a beautiful mall up there. We had our first celebrity came in the other day. The mall told us, but Jason Aldean was walking around the store.
Nice.
He didn't buy anything, so maybe next time. But no, Nashville has been a great market. It's one that we've targeted for a while. We just signed tonight. We signed the Predators, so we're their official in-game memorabilia provider. So tonight in the stadium, we'll have our first auction running. There's Emily. So we'll have our first auction running with the Predators tonight. We're excited about that and working with them, being their exclusive partner. And Beverly Hills got offered to us. We were going to try to open it in December. It just wasn't in the cards. So that'll open in January. And we'll be out there for all of next year and then hopefully longer. It's a 1-year lease to start, and we're going to kick the tires. But that's a market we've been wanting to expand to as well. And we opened 2 stores in Tampa, back in International Plaza, which has always been a great location for us, and then a new location in the Brandon Mall. So we'll see how that goes.
Wow, that's awesome. Where are you in Nashville? Do you know? I don't know if you've been up there.
It's the Mall of Green Hills. The Mall of Green Hills.
It's in a mall. So it's okay.
It's the nicest. It's like our neighbors are all the stores that we don't want our wives going into.
And by the way, those wives don't want their husbands going into your store, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a nice balance.
I mean, it's all Coach and Tiffany's and all that stuff.
Awesome.
I said, all right, I'm not bringing Mrs. Buckley here.
No, Martin, I love having you on the show, man, because you always kind of have the finger on the pulse of like who could be the next big thing. And I'm not sure if you've been in any of the mock drafts or anything, but right now, obviously, Travis Hunter is being mocked to the Jaguars. And I follow Colorado football a little bit, but I think I'm a little naive to the fact of how big of a star Travis Hunter can be, because when when my son brings him up, he's like, oh, he could actually be a Jaguar. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm a little naive to how big this guy can be, and I think there definitely is a bump with like the youth, and like the TikTok generations and then the social media generations that think this guy's a megastar. Is that accurate? Like, where Travis Hunter could be like the next big thing now?
Yeah, Austin, I'd love to explain this to you, but I just don't think you'd get it.
I hear you.
No,
sounds about right.
I had to do it. I had to do it. I've been saving
that long.
I've been waiting this long for that. Makes me laugh. If everybody else is over it, I don't care. I still think it's funny. To answer your question seriously, yeah, obviously this guy is going to come out like a rocket ship. He's already getting offered memorabilia. I mean, in the space of NIL, he's already getting memorabilia deals now. I think the trick is the Colorado market is kind of small. So, I mean, it's big in that market. I don't mean to dog him, but I think people are waiting for him to land on an NFL team. He's going to get a monster deal. He's going to sign with Fanatics for sure. He's going to get a monster card deal. He's so marketable. Like you said, I always try to do the guys. You made a good point with your son, right? It's the fantasy football guys, the video game guys.
Yeah.
When you check those two boxes, that's why we do Tyreek Hill so much. He sells in every single market because he's an incredible Dolphin and an incredible player, but he crushes it on fantasy and he crushes it on video games. So everybody knows him. This kid's going to be the same way, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's wild. Martin Buckley with us from Palm Beach Autographs. All the new locations are opening up, but Brian Thomas Jr. going to be right here in the Jacksonville location coming up Tuesday at 6:30. I could go for an hour on this stuff with you, but a couple of questions if you have time.
Absolutely.
One, how has the NIL world and everything in that college space impacted your business? I mean, you guys are growing. Am I correct to say it's helped your business? It's opened the doors for potentially that athlete that wasn't there, at least legally, for some in the past.
Yeah, because the guys did do signings. We all remember the stories with Gurley and Winston and Manziel and stuff like that. Signing and backroom signings. And I'm glad I never paid a current collegiate athlete. It felt wrong at the time. I never wanted to try to jeopardize anybody's career path, but it definitely does help now. The tricky thing is the transfer portal mixed with the NIL space, right? Essentially all these guys are on one year deals. So the perfect example is I've had a lot of conversation with DJ Lagway's team. He basically has a full agency at this point. He's got people working for him, working deals. They know I work exclusively with Tim. I obviously have an incredible working relationship with Danny Werfel and Steve Spurrier. We just had Jack Youngblood in. So we're kind of the first group that Gator people go to. And we've had a lot of conversations, but the trick is what's going to happen with the head coach? Is the quarterback going to stay? If the coach goes, does the quarterback stay? So we've kind of had to pump the brakes and keep conversation going when the time's right, when there's a Heisman Trophy in the mix, when there's an SEC championship or a national championship in the mix, and things are better in Gatorland and it seems like they're moving that direction, then we can pursue that opportunity with Lagway. But we have a signing with Xavier. How do you say his name? You said it before. Restrepo. See, I don't even know who these guys are, but this is the way it works. They all have agencies. They all have agencies now. So their agency will reach out to me, see that we're doing a appearance in South Florida. So Xavier's team reached out to me, said, "Hey, would you like to have him?" We run the numbers. I talked to my guys down in South Florida. They told me he's the leading receiver in Miami now.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense. Let's have him in. Let's do a signing. So anytime it makes sense, we will do it. But when there's uncertainty and a guy could potentially leave, you don't want to have a bunch of product from a guy who gets traded in the NFL. You don't want a bunch of Barkley Giants product, right? You want a bunch of Eagles Barkley product. So same goes for college.
That's a good call. Barkley must be hot now, by the way.
Yeah, Martin, speaking of Saquon Barkley, what helps an athlete more raise their stock in your line of work? Is it what the season
the Jacksonville Jaguars defense?
Well, there you go. Is it what the season looks like? Obviously the fantasy points, or is it that one play where he reverse hurdled somebody? Because I think back to Odell Beckham Jr. he had the catch on Monday Night Football. It was, it was everywhere, but he's also having a pretty damn good season as well. So, like, what helps an athlete more? Is it just that one play, or is it the culmination of a season?
You guys ask really intelligent questions. I'm always impressed, and I'm not just saying this because you're my friends. That's a really good question. Honestly, believe it or not, the moment you brought up Odell Beckham, so that happened. That was Monday night.
I think it was Monday night or Thursday night. I can't.
It was a prime
time game, whatever it was.
Yeah, because it was a prime time game. I happened to be watching that night, and that following off day that the team had back then, I can't remember if it was Tuesdays or Mondays. Odell had a signing in New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
And we were getting some product because he was popular and did well. And I mean, it was like that happened. And all of a sudden we were like, all we need is that image, everything. And I mean, we ordered maybe 100, those sold out immediately. Then we ordered 500 without a doubt, like a moment like the reverse hurdle. A friend of mine had Antonio Brown exclusive when he was in Pittsburgh. And Antonio with the kick in the face or jumping around the pole. Every week, this guy was getting a new image, and he's a friend of mine. And I'd be like, dude, your guy just keeps creating these incredible moments. But absolutely the moments, those sell over and over because people remember, like we're talking about it now. How long ago was Odell Beckham's catch? We'll talk about that forever.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I was just thinking if I want a Saquon Barkley autograph, I'm like, I want it with the hurdle down.
Of course,
I mean, he's having an unbelievable year. Like, there's a million plays, but I kind of want it with the hurdle in an Eagles, not a Giants, right? But the Eagles. So that part's fascinating. I'll give you another one. Mike Tyson. Obviously, he loses, and I know you've done signings with Tyson, and Tyson obviously is Tyson, right? And the stuff is great from Mike Tyson Punch-Out that you help us out with our Dream 18 golf tournaments, and just his gloves from the historic Tyson boxing days. But this fight, he loses. What does it do to his stuff?
Not much of anything. If anything, believe it or not, I think what I told my business partners is I think it's opened up a name. Austin and I were talking about it on text message. My kids were watching the fight. I came home from a buddy's house. And my 14-year-old and 5 or 6 of her buddies are sitting on there, they know who the guy is, but they know who Mike Tyson is now. So now I've done all these signings with him. Now she's intrigued all of a sudden. Oh, I want to meet Mike. Shameless plug. We're doing him in January at the Tampa and West Palm location. But I think it's just opened up who Mike Tyson is. They probably started doing some Google searching and videos and, saw like primetime Mike Tyson. We saw 58-year-old Mike Tyson. But I think it's just sort of grown his name and his brand a little bit more. Like Austin said, dude, this guy knows how to promote.
Yeah, it's and he's one of the most interesting characters, right? Said he can, even if you're young and you didn't see, that's what YouTube now is for, and other things that you can be like, holy cow, like I've never seen that. Like him and Tiger, I think will have some of that in them for generations probably to come. All right, give us something out of the blue, like anybody hot, like anything that we're not talking about or thinking about that is maybe surprising in the memorabilia game. Doesn't have to be, but is there anything?
Trying to think. I mean, obviously right now, like everything Ohtani has just been crazy expensive still coming out of the World Series. All the excitement around the home run ball, the 40-40 ball, that was nuts. So we get a ton of questions for him. And previously, I mean, especially over here online, we saw the Dodgers, but in Jacksonville and Wellington and Tampa, the Dodgers never particularly sold, but everybody wants Ohtani right now. That's a really good question. Nothing really jumps off.
Ohtani's a good one. Ohtani's a good one. I kind of didn't think about that. I even wonder, like, will something like Freeman do well because of the how good he was in the World Series? And he's like a likable guy. So like if you're a mom or a grandmother shopping in your place, you're like, hey, Freeman's kind of like, I like this guy, right? You go buy your kid a Freddie Freeman autograph ball or something like that. Does that play at all in your space?
Absolutely. I mean, Freddie's super likable, right? He has that going for him. He had an incredible story this whole season with what he dealt with personally. I think there was a lot of relatability with people that have kids and families and what he went through. And then the dude just lived every kid's dream. He hit a walk-off grand slam home run in the bottom of the ninth of the World Series in Dodger Stadium. Like, that moment is, I have chills just saying it. I mean, it was absolutely unbelievable. I think that's one of those moments that will go down where you were, what were you watching. It set the tone for the whole World Series, I think.
Martin, real quick, one final question for you, at least from my end. Obviously, I mean, I'm sure, and it's such a far ways away, but, the season is the season this year for the Jaguars. Like, obviously, you'll probably be watching the draft with anticipation in terms of who they take in terms of position. Are you secretly hoping that's not going to be an offensive tackle or offensive lineman? Because does that kind of hurt in terms of, like, I mean, I think there's not a lot of people clamoring to get an autograph from an offensive tackle. Let's just say.
Yep. Yeah. Kind of, if that happens, we'll entertain offers, just because people do like to come out and, get the first rounder. But you definitely want a quarterback's always exciting, running backs, receivers, a skill position, flashy guy on defense, linebackers. Yeah, linemen's not, people aren't going to be calling us up wondering when we're going to have the O or D line. No disrespect to those guys if anybody's watching. I respect everything you guys do.
No, hey, without a doubt. Hey, good thing the salary's gone up for those guys. I mean, they can't fit on airplanes anyway, and they also just don't get any love. I mean, it's a sucky life.
Well, Martin, is there like a Jason Kelsey bump from everything that this guy's doing now? Like, center in Philly and everything, but now like he's got a podcast. You see him on every single commercial. So is there a giant bump now for Jason, or is it just more Travis?
No, Jason for sure.
Jason too.
And again, like. People who don't know that he played for the Eagles know who he is. So people are coming in asking, do we have anything, Jason Kelsey, we have jerseys and helmets and mini helmets and photos. So you can market yourself, so creatively if you have a sense of humor. I mean, look at what McAfee has done.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. And so there's so much opportunity. Who's a guy that I've been trying to, he's turned down a lot of offers. I think I have a pretty unique angle. I'm working on McAfee. I'd love to do a signing with him. I think he would be tremendous.
All right. We don't want to do the signing the day we do McAfee. I don't think our tickets will win.
Yeah, exactly. The Bulls
right swearing on national television on College Game Day weekly.
Yeah,
that's my dream one day, Brent. I can't even do it on here without getting yelled at. This guy's on ESPN, just like living the good life.
I mean, I watched him yesterday. There must have been like 12 drops.
Oh yeah,
yesterday on the show.
And my son's like, "Can we say that?" I'm like, "Well, you're not supposed to, but if he's doing it, well, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man.
No, don't. No, Ronan, you can hear it, but you can't
I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, Jason Hamby wants to jump in and ask you one question before we let Martin Buckley go. What you got, Hamby?
What's up, brother?
Yeah, you got two stores in Tampa. I'm wondering if you've been following a lot of the news with the Rays and potentially live in Tropicana, and if that would affect things down there.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. From what I've heard, the deal's done, right? They're going to play at Legends Field where the Yankees are.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool. Side story to that, quick fun fact. We, at the Tampa locations, we've employed a couple different Yankees minor league players part-time over the years.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we always love when those guys, so who knows, maybe there'll be a Red Sox.
That's good stuff. I think we might have just lost him. We made it 20-something minutes, and then we lost him. What'd you do?
Oh, no,
there he is.
He's back.
Listen.
Probably didn't want to answer a Georgia Bulldog question.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. That was good. You're all right.
Sorry. My wife knows I'm doing this for you. Oh, she said I boob dialed you. Sorry. There you go. Look at that. I just made you go viral. You're going to go viral now.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
I love that, man. I'm going to start using that.
A weekly occurrence.
She knows what I'm doing. So I think the Tampa store. I think the Tampa store. We work with a lot of the different Rays guys, so that'll be nice having them there, having those players there. They're going to sell out some games.
Yeah, they will.
You hope so.
I hope
That's
so.
awesome. Well, hey, it will be unique, like those panoramic shots, right, of playing in that stadium. There'll be a kind of a cool collector's item. If this is the only year they do it.
Yeah.
So, hey, Martin Buckley, have a good Thanksgiving, man. And Brian Thomas Jr., Tuesday, Avenues Mall, Palm Beach autographs, and balloons for everybody.
How did I do that? I did peace. Balloons went out.
That's awesome.
Look at this.
How do we have that, Brett?
What a world, dude. We're operating on a big budget.
Hamby, give us some fireworks.
I got nothing for you.
What else you got? What else you got?
Nothing for us.
What a way to go.
Right.
Ryan Thomas Jr., 6:30 to 8 on Tuesday. Happy Thanksgiving, man.
Same to you guys. Take care.
Later, man.
Later, brother.
He's the greatest.
Man, it's awesome.
He's awesome.
Now, Hamby had 2 questions, so you...
Oh, did I cut him? Sorry, Hamby. What was your other one?
Oh, no, that was it.
I'll answer it for you.
Oh,
that was it.
You had 2 questions,
Okay.
you said. Okay, my bad. Sorry.
Yes, you can have my autograph after we've gone viral the last couple of
There
years.
it goes. There we go. Hamby, can we get some fireworks for something?
No, you got to have the phone to do that.
Oh, we don't have
Listen, your phone does not do that.
Oh, my phone
Okay?
doesn't.
Yeah, you got no
if I
shot,
want
pal.
to do it, it would do it. All right.
No chance.
Okay.
Let's take a time. I will come back. What did Doug Peterson say? We'll update you on that. We've got our picks we're going to get in because we don't have shows on Thursday, Friday. Did you see this?
No.
You know, good old sportsmanship is still cool.
Garbage.
Okay.
So this kid went 0 for 3 in field goals yesterday. Last night in the game, it was Akron and Toledo, so I think that's a young man from Toledo. The Akron special teams guys after the game went up to him, and this was the scene.
Okay.
That was pretty cool. Good sportsmanship.
Well, yeah, Lord knows his own team wasn't doing it. They're probably pretty picked off.
Yeah, well,
So we need to get some love from someplace. I don't see any teammates by him. Maybe the long snapper. That was about it.
I do like that, but if I'm the kid that missed a 3, I'm like, out of
away
there,
from me.
man. I ain't shaking hands with anybody.
Dude,
Right?
I'm going to deactivate my Facebook and Twitter. Yeah, I'm taking some time off.
But I do think it's
No,
cool to
it's
acknowledge
cool.
in
It's
today's
nice.
world where everything else gets all the attention.
No, there's a video circulating too where it was like at a state championship game, came down the last second, and they win the game, and the other guys are on the ground crying. And the guy that actually, I think, threw the quarterback kind of consoled everybody instead of celebrating with his own team.
Pretty good.
So that's cool.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It takes something special to go think of doing that.
Of course.
I believe. All right,
Yeah.
we'll come back from Strings Sports Brewery in Jax Beach. It's a Whataburger Wednesday here on the show as well. Halfway through, we'll take you until 1 o'clock on the Brent Austen Show today.
When it comes to trucks, I know exactly what I want. And at Bozard Ford, they make it easy to get exactly that. Let's go make this truck a little more my style. With Bozard Built, I can create my perfect truck right here. Lift kit? Check. Premium wheels? You bet. Advanced lighting package? Oh yeah. The Bozard team works their magic. From bumper to tailgate, I'm making this truck mine. It's everything that I wanted and more. From the field to the gym to weekend adventures. This truck's built for my journey. Bozard Built. Customized for your lifestyle, built to exceed your expectations. Check out the inventory and available options at bozardbuilt.com. Unleash your dream ride. Customize, covered, and Bozard approved.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown. When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway, or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy respect, fairness. And most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnicht. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnicht. GMC. We are professional grade. If you need a quality play this football season at your home, call That One Painter First Coast. Locally owned and operated, experienced employees, no builder-grade materials. And there's more, and for that, we throw it to Noah Schlicksup. That One Painter First Coast can apparently help your kicking game, too.
Well, after my failure on skinny sticks last year on Creekside game day, I've spent a lot of time out here at Creekside practicing my kicks. There's only one issue. How is that even possible? The good news is I know exactly who can help. That One Painter can handle all your painting needs, from field goal posts to cabinets to stucco. They got you covered. Though they may not be able to help with my kicking, they can certainly help with the posts. Call That One Painter First Coast today for all your painting needs at 904-495-1373.
Everyone loves a good game night. Here you don't have to be the host. You don't have to clean up. They bring the food and drinks to you, and you can watch whatever you want on the big screens. It's more than a card room. It's a night full of fun with friends. Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now the newest location here in St. Augustine, right off 95 at exit 311. A brand new clean room, a full bar and menu, my favorite sushi in town. And I love the fries too. You don't have to just play poker at Best Bet. That's why I come over here to the table games and play one card poker. That's a pretty good card and a win. One card poker is like war as a kid, you against the dealer. And this isn't the only fun table game to play. A friendly staff, a lot of fun. It's a good night out at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and the newest location in St. Augustine. You can be a serious player or a novice. It doesn't matter. If winning equals fun, you're a winner every time at Best Bet. I'll save you a seat, and I'll see you down here at Best Bet St. Augustine.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Hey there, good inside our Action Sports Jax 24/7 network studios. Good to be on the road here as those things are vacant. Whataburger Wednesday back there. Jason Hamby is hanging out in the studios. We are live at Strings Sports Brewery here in Springfield. I want to tell you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing as well. I've enjoyed my long partnership with my friends over there at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing. More than 7 years ago, we put a Connecticut Premier water softener system in our house and still going strong. We just change the filter occasionally. You can go visit cgcwater.com or visit the Jacksonville location right off St. John's Bluff Road. You can take advantage of some of the holiday specials that are going on with CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing. Make them part of your home as well. Brent Martineau Austen Lane, and good to have Martin Buckley on. Scott Adib, the owner of Strings Sports Brewery, going to join us in about an hour or so. We'll get an update on this location. All signs pointing toward an opening, maybe even just a matter of hours. So we'll get the latest on that. I think people are really excited about the Jax Beach location. We will have our show Monday, Jags Report live from here. This will be the debut show on Fox 30, but come on out, be a part of it. Hopefully coming off a Jags win against the Houston Texans. Speaking of the Jags and the Trevor Lawrence stuff, I was thinking of this. Here we go again a little bit with Doug, because it's like, well, he's going to go out there and practice. We'll see. That was today.
Yeah,
it's like, can we just say he's playing? Like, what? Just at least like, hey, he's tracking toward playing. Well, there's no secret here. Why is this staff, why is Doug so hell-bent on this cloak of secrecy around this football team in stuff that really doesn't need it? This is an easy one again. Again, I hate to be nitpicking because I know it's been a battle here with Doug like this year, but even the fans don't like anything he says. I'm not trying to do that, but I'm just saying this is easy. This is low-hanging fruit here. Listen, he's on the practice field. We think we got a good chance to get him back. We just hope there's no setbacks during the week. Yeah. That's it. Like, it's not that hard.
Yeah, and once again, there's really no competitive advantage, I feel like.
There's no competitive advantage.
It'd be one thing if it's like, all right, you got a dual threat quarterback, or do you got like a statue back there? Like, okay, maybe, but Houston's not worrying about it, right? Like, obviously, Houston would rather see Mac Jones than Trevor Lawrence, but I guarantee you right now, Houston's preparing for Trevor Lawrence. And if they get Mac Jones, then so be it. They'll adjust on the fly.
Yeah, they've got to be prepared for it.
Yeah, I don't get it, Brent. Like, I get that, teams want to, this is the classic Bill Belichick narrative, and that's fine, but it's one thing, I feel like, if you have a dynasty in the making and, you win in Super Bowls and you kind of do things your own way. It's another thing if, you've won 2 games this year so far, and it's like, what are we really talking about?
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, listen, I think I can say it. It looks like he's going to play.
Yeah.
I mean,
Brent, are we going to break something?
No, I'm going to hedge it. But unless there's a setback,
hedge it.
Then Matt Jones
something to keep an eye on. I expect Trevor Lawrence to play, but if the shoulder's not feeling good, expect maybe him not to play.
What if this is our last show of the week? So usually this could be like a Friday topic or something. And I don't say this as this kind of feels a little preseason-y. To me, where you're like, hey, who can you not wait to watch, right? Like,
sure, yeah.
But I don't say it in that respect. I say it more like, okay, Trevor, Brian Thomas Jr., take those guys off the board, because I really think those are the guys, to me, they're top of my list of who I want to see perform the next 6 weeks. But I think there's one more thing, and that is, or there's more than that, right?
Okay, yep.
It's like, what about the running backs?
Oh,
like,
Brent, we're on the same page again. We're sharing a brain.
Like, who...
Yes.
What is this year for Travis Etienne? And what is this year for Tank Bigsby?
Just going to bring this up. Well, when Doug Peterson alluded to, you might see some changes. No, he didn't say the changes, obviously, keeping it under wraps. But is it change that we possibly see if Tank Bigsby, because he's back now, right?
Well,
or do we not?
We'll get the injury report today, but he was battling the ankle and he didn't play against the Lions.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so I'm not sure, like, percentage-wise how he's feeling, but if you do have a healthy Tank Bigsby, could one of the changes be maybe he's your first down back? Now maybe he's your first, second down back and make Travis Etienne the third down back. Maybe he's alluding to that a little bit.
Yeah, I just feel like I don't know what this year is in the running back room. Etienne, I'm a big fan of, as you know. Bigsby really came on, and it was like, okay, but it was like for 3 weeks or 4 weeks, whatever it was. There were signs of it, but now it got banged up. It's not his fault necessarily. Yeah. Etienne, same thing. He's been battling things, but there was weird stuff, like why at the end of the Eagles game were those guys not in, and like just weirdness. So when the 6 games to go, it's like, okay, listen, Etienne, they picked up the 5th-year option. If he goes off, you're like, yeah, that's what, if he gets benched or Bigsby's the guy. It's Bigsby your guy going into 2025. Like, there's a lot to be determined here for these 2 running backs. I mean, Dearness Johnson is in a different conversation. Sure. But for these 2 guys and how they use them, what they can do, what you feel good about going into next year, do you have to go beef up the room a little bit more in the offseason? I think the running backs have a big 6 weeks ahead of them. Yeah,
I mean, listen, having more than one running back, it's not necessarily a bad problem. Right, this is what a lot of teams in the NFL they do now, because not every team's got a Derrick Henry. Even the Ravens have Justice Hill, right?
Yeah.
So not every team's got a Saquon Barkley, let's just say. So it's not a bad thing. It's just how do you use these running backs and to use them properly? And that's kind of the biggest question right now is in what capacity should they get the reps? In what capacity should they get their playing time? Because it just feels like every once in a while it's like just a random rotation. Then you sprinkle Dearness Johnson on every once in a while when Travis Etienne should be in. So there's no rhyme or reason right now. And that's, to me, what separates you from a good offense to just an offense right now that doesn't really know what's going on is how do you use your running backs? In what situations do you use your running backs? And right now I think the Jaguars are just trying to, hoping and praying a little bit as opposed to actually having a strategy.
I'm trying to find real stuff that matters down this last 6 games. And again, those are it for Trevor, Brian Thomas Jr. And every player is going to have an opportunity or it's going to be important to them. I'm just talking big picture looking at this. Or can flip the season still. Like, I think you can really flip how this I don't think you can flip the season in terms of the win-loss record of the AFC South, but I think you can flip the way we look at your performance and who you are and what we have in Jacksonville going forward at a certain position based on these last 6 games, I guess is how I should say it. And I'll give you an example of a guy that I'm not sure can flip it. I thought coming into this year, and he was one of my breakout guys, I think, Andre Sisco was going to have a big year. I don't know if he can even come back from the year that he's had. He's really cost himself a lot of money. I like Sisco a lot too, and he's really cost himself a lot of money. I don't know if he's going to be here or somewhere else. Is that going to be a hole they're going to have to fill? Is this an aberration? Was it the system? I really can't quite figure out why he hasn't played that great. It appears like he hasn't played that great, and I do think it's an important 6 games for him to bounce back and play better. I just don't know if our narrative is going to change going into the offseason, even if he does so.
Yeah, it's hard to say right now, right? Because the bad's been kind of bad this year.
It's been too
like
bad.
A little bit. Yeah.
Almost for anybody on that defense. Not anybody, but like Trayvon Walker can still go finish off a big season.
Yeah, I mean, the more that I think about it, like, who's actually been elevated like this year, who's reached a new echelon in this Jaguars defense? Maybe Trayvon?
I think Trayvon has. You know?
I mean, yeah, but he had a good season last year, too.
He did. But, I mean, he's pacing. What's he at? 6.5 sacks? That sound about right? I think he's at 6.5 sacks.
Yep.
So he's pacing toward a year where he could have over double digits.
Correct.
And so in that progression of 3.5 sacks to 10 sacks, if he could get hot here down the stretch and get to a dozen sacks, now you got the touchdown return, all that stuff. Now you're like, okay, this guy just keeps elevating.
Yep.
Josh is not going to have what he had. That's pretty apparent. Although I talked to Josh a couple of weeks ago, and he, outside of the sack numbers, feels like he's been just as good. Mm-hmm. He feels like he's been good in his hurries and his hits and his run game stuff. And so it's interesting perspective, and I get it. The sacks mean everything to everyone outside. I think people have come around on the fact that he does actually disrupt play more than just the sacks, and they can see that. But you're going to have this huge drop-off from a 17.5 season to, I mean, maybe he ends up with 8. I mean, and that's not good enough. I would say this in the defense of both him and Trayvon. First of all, they're the only guys doing it. Nobody's helping them out.
Well,
right?
This is my point of players that have elevated their game since they've been here, like free agents. Darby, well, no, I don't think so. Savage, no. Eric Armstead, no. And, like, listen, we watched Clarence Campbell come in here and had a pretty good career in Arizona, but, like, I felt like he really stepped his game up when he came to Jacksonville. So it's not out of the realm of possibility to say, hey, when you sign a free agent, maybe they can play some of their best football. Well, we've got none of that from any of the guys that have been brought in here so far.
That's true. Listen, I think Foyer's been fine, but he got hurt for a bit, right? Mm-hmm. Tyson Campbell, he's been up and down. The injuries, he's got a shoulder right now. Is that going to be okay? Like, that hasn't worked out. Lloyd has been people want to bench. If you talk to 5 different people, you'll get 5 different answers about Devin Lloyd. It's wild. Mm-hmm. Muma got in there, not really a factor. Ventrell Miller's been he's elevated.
He's been elevated. That's a good one.
He's elevated. The 2 young players, Brian Thomas Jr. and Ventrell Miller, are really the guys. I'll tell you a guy that I've been a little bit disappointed going back to the offensive side. I thought Parker Washington was going to emerge here. Had a great August. Get an opportunity with Kirk out. He's been invisible. Yeah. Like invisible. Is that a him problem? Is that the offense problem? Is that a Mac Jones problem? I don't know, but it's been I had the huge return in London. Mm-hmm. It was like, okay, here he goes. And nothing. So there's not a lot of guys. When you're 2-9, there's just not a lot of guys that are doing that.
Sure.
And one other thing I'll say about the pass rush stuff, they don't have the help that they thought they were going to get or could get or just didn't plan for it. And the other thing is they don't play from ahead. Like, they never play from ahead.
Yep.
And so if you never play from ahead, and partly it's their own fault, they give up points every opening drive or whatever. Mm-hmm. But if you don't play from ahead, it's really hard to just pin your ears. That's where guys get sacks. I mean, T.J. Watt and Myles Garrett, they close out games when they're ahead. And that's where their big plays come from. Jags have had very minimal opportunities to do that this year. They're chasing uphill almost every time. So that part hasn't been fun for them. Hey, we're going to take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll do some picks. Also a conversation. Do you see the Dodgers sign Blake Snell?
Shut it down. Shut it down, Brent.
This feels like a video game that the Dodgers are playing.
Can we save the sport of baseball? Shut it down.
Is there any way to put guardrails on the Dodgers are doing?
NBA style. Let's go. I'm tired of it, Brent.
Yeah, we're live at Strings Sports Brewery here in Jax Beach, hanging out on the eve of Thanksgiving. And you know what I'm doing, or I always usually do for my holiday gifts or some holiday gifts? The kids have new places to go, right? So we can get some apparel from Baker Sports. It's a place we go for equipment. We also go for our gear. A lot of the Action Sports Shacks department gear has come from Baker Sports, and now the new Action Sports Shacks 24/7 network as well. Give them a call, Baker Sports, or any of the reps. We always talk to Will Olive over there, so give him a call and give some of the business his way. They'll take care of you at Baker's Sports. So look at the beer list and more. The bar here at Strings Sports Brewery in Jacksonville.
Okay.
Jax Beach, the newest location. Talked to Scott Adib about the opening of their newest place coming up in just a little bit as well. Welcome to Everbank Stadium. We call the stadium the bank. Here inside the Jaguars locker room, this is called the Vault. The Vault is a special place on game days. You can feel the energy and excitement as the Jaguars get ready to take the field. And Everbank has made a way for Jaguars fans to be a part of the action. Each home game, Everbank will select a winner and a guest to be a part of the Shadows. Be there up close and personal when the Jaguars leave the Vault to take the field. Not only that, the Vault Lounge provides a VIP pregame tailgate experience. High-end food, beverages, music, and more. Want a chance to be part of a VIP experience at a Jaguars game? Enter today at everbank.com/shadows, and you could find yourself in the shadows with the Jaguars.
For the game day hustle and every day in between. Juggling my show, Jax Social, to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament. But this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game, but with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242. You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing. Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Right now, save 10% off a new Rinnai tankless water heater. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. For a limited time, CGC is waiving the trip charge on all related plumbing calls. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579. It's the place we party in football season with Jaguars All Access. Welcome to Strings Sports Brewery, everybody. Say hello to our guest tonight. That is Trevor Lawrence. You can bring your party or event to Strings Sports Brewery in Springfield any day and any time. Rehearsal dinners, corporate events, birthdays. Here at Strings, you can enjoy the inside area and the outside area. Good for any weather, good for any occasion. Watch the games, play the games, shoot some hoops. Beer? Yeah, they have that. Plenty of choices. And sure, this is a brewery, but Strings is also a restaurant, and the food is fantastic. A full menu made from scratch meals. And if you need Strings Sports Brewery to help with a party at your place, they cater too. Family, beer, food, sports. Strings Sports Brewery in Springfield.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Hey, there's a look at our lineup for today on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Miller and Moulton in the books. They'll take the next couple of days off as well. Brent and Austen Show, we are in it right now. We'll do the same. Thursday, Friday, no show. We'll have High School Hoops Media Day, Fall Sports Media Day playing in its place. Stripe Show podcast today. Get some tips on get ready for some swings on the golf course. I actually might play a little golf tomorrow morning. So maybe I'll tune in to the Stripe Show podcast with Travis Fulton and get some tips for the golf game. After the game airs at 3 o'clock. This is an episode we've been showing for a little bit now, and that's Chip Stroud right there, the basketball coach at Episcopal High School. He'll join Josh Baker. That show presented by Baker Sports and High School Sports 912. And by the way, you can see all of the episodes, all 15 of them now, of After the Game on our YouTube channel, Action Sports Jax, and we've put them up in podcast form as well. Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Just look up the podcast and you'll see our show, and we're going to put other things up there in the next couple of weeks. Then Young and Norvell today, 4 to 6. Those guys are the only guys that are going to work on Friday. They're doing a show on Friday, too. They'll take tomorrow off, but do a show on Friday. So we got a lot of fun stuff happening with the network. We're excited about it. One of the reasons we were over at FSCJ yesterday, doing a little bit of a site survey, that we are going to host the Fortegra Invitational on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. We'll have a bunch of the games, including the semifinals and the championship game. That's coming up in the middle of December 13th and 14th. It's a Friday and a Saturday. And we'll have a bunch of the other games even on Thursday in the preliminary rounds. So more information on that to come. How about this? Next Friday, we are showing the Jacksonville Icemen against the Florida Everblades not on the network, streaming network, but on TV. So it will be on My TV Jax, and we're looking forward to doing that. We have a handful of games that you can catch the Jacksonville Icemen broadcast with the Action News Jax family of networks, if you will. And I want to make sure I tell you exactly where to find that, because My TV Jax on a bunch of different platforms. Where is it, Austen Lane? Here it is. I don't have this one memorized, okay? But My TV Jax 30.2 is on the antenna. Xfinity channel 29, 220, 1184, so 3 different options there with My TV Jax. AT&T UVerse channel 31. If you have DirecTV, it's channel 53. If you have Dish TV, it's channel 32. So December 6th, that's the Florida Everblades and the Jacksonville Icemen on My TV Jax. And again, we'll have more games in 2025, a total of 5 of them. That's actually Teddy Bear Toss Day, so that will be a good visual.
Yeah.
If you can't make it out to the game, you can watch it on TV. We're excited about that partnership with the Jacksonville Icemen. Brent Martineau, Austen Lane, back here at Strings Sports Brewery in Jax Beach. You can hear the work being done.
Yep.
If you pull into the parking lot, you're like, oh, okay, this is cool. It looks like it's coming together. It'll be ready to go in a couple of weeks.
Nope.
We might be talking about a couple hours.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
The pressure's on, Brent.
Finishing touches.
Well, and especially because it's like, it's kind of a big game today. If they do get it open and everything, I mean, you're probably going to make a lot of business because it's the night before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's a big one, as you said. We'll talk to Scott Adib about all this in just a bit and hopefully be able to tell you exactly when it's opening. Like, maybe you should put your plans in this place tonight if you're looking for a place to go. Daniel Jones, you're seeing him on the screen. The Minnesota Vikings have added him to the practice squad. Can't hurt, right? I mean, not too surprised to see any of these teams.
I'm not mad at it. Like, I'm surprised, though, a team like, I guess the practice squad's a little surprising. He obviously had a choice, right?
He could have make his bed. Now, he said, like, the Raiders he didn't want to go to.
Sure.
But he wants to go to a contender.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty interesting to see if he goes to a contender, then first of all, he gets the opportunity, but I think he feels like he's in a better situation to learn as well. And why not? Isn't that a great spot for him? O'Connell obviously has done a great job with Darnold.
Very quarterback.
It's like, wait a minute. Maybe you can help me, too. I can pick up some things. Either I stay here, pass this year, or go somewhere else, but at least I pick up some things along the way.
No, I like it. And I'm not sure who Minnesota's backup is right now. That's in front of Daniel Jones?
Yeah, let's think. Who is Sam Darnold's backup?
Hammy, you got it?
I'm pulling it up, but also obviously
He's looking it up.
A team could pick up Daniel Jones if they had an injury. It's Nick Mullins.
Mullins.
A team could,
you'd have to sign him to the 53.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's not making his bed for the rest of the year 100%.
Okay, so that's a great point. Yeah, so if a team's really that desperate, they could actually sign him. Then Minnesota has a chance to counter that.
Yeah,
right.
Which is
so
a
this
smart
is
move.
almost a security
Very smart
blanket
move.
for Daniel Jones here.
Yeah, and I saw something where he's getting paid $100,000 a week, so he's getting more practice squad money than
Better
most
than being a scout team safety in New York.
It is. It is interesting that they can pay certain guys more on the practice squad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, to be honest with you, if Daniel Jones made $5,000 this week, does it really matter?
He's doing just fine for himself.
I mean, what did he sign that contract for? It was like
made his bread.
$50 million or something.
Exactly.
He's doing okay, but I guess it's a principle thing. All right, Hamby, let's go, man. What are we doing? We're making some picks.
We got some
Did
picks.
we go 5-1 last week, by the way, guys?
Did we?
I mean, I'm not sure. I'm asking.
Maybe I'll leave the segment if that's the case. Well, I wasn't here when we did the picks.
Hamby, we go 5-1 last week?
I'm almost positive that we went 5-1 last week.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Like the way that sounds.
We had.
Let's throw it all away this week.
Yeah,
I can almost tell you too. I think
the only one we didn't have was BYU. So we got
that was me and Brent. I think Hamby had Arizona.
Oh, guess
I'm not
what?
gonna lie,
Hey,
I wasn't really I didn't know too much about Arizona State's game, so.
Hey, we're now in first place, baby.
By the way, that was a huge week because going into that week, we were behind by a game. And it's really close, actually. 32, 31, 30, 30 are the wins.
Okay.
Well, we just jumped into first. We're now even, 36 and 36.
Okay.
Young and Norvell, 34 and 38. I'll just do the wins because it's a lot of numbers. So 36 wins for us, 34 wins for Young and Norvell, 33 for Miller and Moulton, 33 for Casey.
All right, let's go ahead and start lapping them now, Brent.
Hey, let's do it.
Let's keep this momentum going.
You know what's funny is we went 5-1, so I do this other thing, and I was dead last in it.
Okay.
I kind of like last minute. I was like, I got to pick 6 games.
Oh, here come excuses.
Nah, but I
last
just thought,
minute.
well, so it's like 25 or 30 people in it. And I was dead last. I've won the thing before. I'm dead last. And, now here I come, baby.
Yep.
6-0 last week.
I like it.
And I vaulted now. I'm like 4 games out of third, which would be in the money.
Sure.
And I'm like 7 games out of first. So I'm just trying to tackle third first.
Yeah.
I'd be pretty happy. I'd be proud of myself if I could go from dead last to third.
That'd be a comeback like no other right there.
So let's do it. What do we got? What do we got, Hammy?
All right. So obviously last week of the regular season in college football, and some teams right on the bubble, some almost pseudo playoff games. One of those being South Carolina at Clemson, 15 versus 12. Clemson at home. They are 2.5-point favorites.
Wants it first.
You know, somebody said to me that like surprise Clemson's a favorite. I'm like, really?
At home?
It's at Clemson.
Yeah.
And it's still South Carolina. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, brand-wise, you'd be like, Clemson or South Carolina? Okay, Clemson. Mm-hmm. I say Clemson. I actually think like it was the Louisville loss was a killer for them, but if you look at the college football rankings, they're actually in a pretty good spot if they beat South Carolina.
Yeah.
They're 12
I
right
don't
now, yeah.
like the fact that South Carolina's covered every one of their games. They covered their last 5 games on the road. I don't like that.
That's a good nugget right there.
I don't like that, but also I do like Clemson. So I'm taking Clemson 2 at home.
All right. So never mind on mine.
Hamby, I mean, did you feel free to throw?
What do you think?
Yeah, South Carolina.
South Carolina?
It's SEC. Brent means more.
No,
Of course.
no. No, I was going to take Clemson. Just at home. And,
All right.
I think their defense is good enough to make South Carolina one-dimensional. So we'll take the ACC team there. Okay, another kind of pseudo playoff team. It means more for one than it does the other. The one can afford a loss, the other can't. This is the most expensive ticket in college football this week. Renewing a rivalry. We got Texas at Texas A&M. The Aggies are at home, and they are 5-point underdogs. You're getting the A&M +5 if you want it at home. Quinn Ewers is questionable for this football game with an ankle. He's probably been playing through that all season long. There's even, if you want to get into hypotheticals and conspiracies, should Texas just bench him regardless and play Arch Manning? Because if they lose, they can tell the committee, we lost. It was our backup quarterback. We were on the road. We shouldn't slide that much. We certainly shouldn't slide out. Is that going to happen? No. But has it crossed Sarkisian's mind? Maybe. What do you got?
Well, it's not like Arch Manning is a downgrade either. He's a pretty good quarterback in his own right.
That could be good.
I'll start this one out. I mean, listen, I can get all technical with it and all the statistics and everything and the spreads, but I don't like Texas A&M, and I don't like their fan base, and I don't like that stupid cheer that they do with the weird night before a game. So for those reasons and those reasons alone, I'm taking Texas.
Hamby, what you got?
I'm taking Texas. I'm taking Texas to the Longhorns.
How come?
Aggies haven't been the same since Le'Veon Moss went out. Their star running back Marcel Reed's done a good job stepping in for Wegman.
Oh, Brent, careful.
Well, A&M's going to win now
Brent's
just because of that.
down.
So thanks, Brent.
Yeah, listen. To be honest with you, I kind of feel the way you guys feel. Mm-hmm. But here's my problem with these teams. I think Texas is better.
Sure.
Kind of the way Hamby thinks the SEC is good. Like, I don't know it.
Yeah.
Like, what have they done to prove that they're good? Like, why should I buy in? And seriously, if their quarterback is banged up or out, that really adds another element. Plus, Texas A&M, tough place to play. Mm-hmm. Now, Notre Dame went down there earlier this season and found it okay. But I think Texas A&M is really average. like Texas might not be as good as everybody's like number 2 in the country or 3 in the country, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. But I don't even think Texas A&M is like a top 20 worthy team. I really don't. I don't think they're good. And I think they proved it against Auburn the other night. So they'll be up and ready for this game. They'll hang in the game because that's the way it goes. You got average, above average against above average, maybe. But not great against great. Not even great against good. I think I'll lean with you guys in Texas on this one.
All right.
Five's a lot, though, on the road.
Being all in agreement, I'm not going to lie.
Five's a lot on the road.
It is a lot on the road.
All right, what else we got?
All right, we got a team that has pretty much solidified its spot in the college football playoff against a team who has been one of the bigger disappointments in college football all season long, and their head coach his job might be on the line. We got Notre Dame at USC, and USC is 7.5-point underdogs.
Are you guys? I haven't heard much about that, by the way, on the Lincoln Riley stuff. So are they thinking like he could be done?
Well,
he disappointing year.
Oh yeah.
He did do himself a favor last week. I believe it was last week by beating UCLA. That was really the one that he couldn't afford to lose, and he won. So they are going to go to a bowl game, but they're looking at 6-6 if they lose to Notre Dame. So there's still rumblings out there, but it is an insane buyout. So it's just one of those things.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that USC of all teams couldn't, in this era of transfer portal and NIL, be better than they are right now.
Yeah.
I'm also not a big Lincoln Riley fan, and good, karma comes and gets you, because you probably should have just stayed at Oklahoma, where you had it good, instead of go chase the big fancy houses and private jets. True. You had it good. Yeah. And by the way, and Oklahoma would be better off for it too, because Venables and everybody, they're like down right now, even after a win over Alabama. So, hey, karma comes and gets you, man. You shouldn't have left. And why did you have to chase? It's Lincoln Riley. I'll keep saying it. To me, he's everything that's wrong with the sport. And he's not alone. He just, to me, is a poster child of what's wrong with the sport and why we're to the point of where we're at. It's like it wasn't good enough at Oklahoma. If a kid said that, you offered him $500,000, you'd be pissed off the kid left because he went and got $700 at USC, and you'd be like, oh, $500 is not good enough.
Yeah.
We're not good enough. Well, you did the same damn thing. One private jet wasn't good enough. I needed 2. Like, come on, man. So anyway,
so you take Notre Dame
all the time. What's the line?
7.5.
7.5, I think.
Is that at USC?
Correct.
Yes.
I don't like that 7.5. I don't. I mean, Notre Dame's playing really good football right now.
See, and I always tend to take the underdogs in like a rivalry game,
too.
but
you don't have any faith in USC.
I mean, do you want me to go first?
No, I'll go first. Okay. I'm going to take USC with the points.
All right, Hamby. Well, since you have the stadium pulse, I'll let you go last because while I usually take the underdog in a big rivalry game, I just think that Notre Dame's firing on all cylinders right now. I feel like USC's defense, I thought they were going to be good to start out the year. Well, they can't really stop anybody right now. It's just too much firepower. You saw that against Army. I'm taking the momentum right now of Notre Dame.
Yeah, as much as I wish that Notre Dame would lose so that we could get them out, or at least stop with this facade that they're national title contenders. Jeremiah Love, their running back, is still an unbelievable football player, and if I want to, I've spent plenty of time hating on them for the Northern Illinois loss. You can make the argument, obviously, that was such a big fluke because they only ran the ball like 25 times total in that game, and they've been running it like 40 ever since and blowing out everybody. So I think they've learned from that. Jeremiah Love is great. Riley Leonard is good on the ground. USC's run defense has been okay, but not good enough. I think Notre Dame will continue their hot streak, if you want to call it that. They've been blowing out everybody, so I'll take them in the points by winning by 14 or 17, something like that. So
nice. That's going to be a Hamby Lane House of Pain special, Brent.
I like it.
Book it now.
Hey, who do you hate?
I think we're undefeated when this happens.
Who do you hate more or disrespect more, Notre Dame or Miami, or what they're doing this year?
Oh man, Notre Dame and Miami is close. Shoot, probably Miami. Yeah, probably Miami because they've just skated by so many teams.
Do you not? You don't think genuinely asking? I know we get in this conversation all the time. I'm just fascinated by again. This is like it's your parents' fault. Quite frankly, you grew up with this bias.
Oh, bring up the bracket. Here we go.
But do you not? I think Notre Dame can hang or beat Oregon.
Agreed.
What has Oregon done that says they can't?
Well, I mean, Oregon beat Ohio State.
No, I'm saying Oregon deserves to be number one.
Okay.
But it's not like they're like
no, they're not knocking your socks off. Where it's like they're like this juggernaut like Alabama was back in the day, where it's like nobody can keep up with them.
That's right. So we don't we've acknowledged we don't really have
Georgia
that
was
team
back in the day.
Yeah, like Georgia was.
Yeah, like Georgia was back in the day. Hamby. Yes.
We don't have that team, so I don't understand. Why would you say Notre Dame can't be a national championship contender? I think they could beat Oregon.
I mean, I just don't think they've shown anything to show you that they could compete with a team like that. Oregon at least has. They beat Ohio State. We know Ohio State's good. They beat Penn State, right? Who has Notre Dame beat other than LSU week 1 of the season, and LSU is no longer ranked.
Texas A&M. I don't think it's good, but
yeah.
They beat Texas A&M, then LSU, right?
That's right. Yeah, USC
did they beat LSU too?
USC beat LSU week 1.
USC beat LSU first game of the season.
And by the way, so can everybody? Back. I would feel much better about this whole thing if everybody in the Southeast will stop pretending that LSU's any good. They lost to USC. They lost to Florida. They lost like 4 in a row before the other night. Can we stop thinking LSU is any good? It's not a good win if you beat LSU. It doesn't matter. It is no different. Vanderbilt's better than LSU this year. They just lost to them down there, so I guess I can't say that. But can we
quality wins?
See, that's my point. We can't get out of our sight. I heard people the other day somewhere, I can't remember, saying, "Oh, but they beat LSU." Who gives a damn? Who cares if they beat Brian Kelly and LSU? You just told me USC beat LSU.
It's like beating Illinois. Okay, cool.
I mean, really, it is like that
for a while, but all right.
It just drives me nuts. We can't separate it. That's my problem. We can't separate.
Well, you have to separate it meaning more and not meaning more. Okay, and until you can separate that, Brent, you're just gonna feel lost, man.
I am.
One interesting stat I'm seeing now on Notre Dame. They've run it twice as much as they've thrown it this season.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
390
defense, right?
rushing attempts and 197 passing attempts.
Wisconsin Badgers, you listening to this? See?
I agree with that. I don't think you should crown Notre Dame, by the way. I don't know how good they are either. I think they're playing a good style of ball right now. They really have rebounded nicely. And he's a good coach. I like Freeman. You think he's a good coach, Hampy?
I think he's pretty good. I think he needs to do a better job recruiting of passing game and total complete complementary offense to be a national title contender. And I think that he's portrayed as that and hadn't quite earned it. A lot of that is the aura around Notre Dame and filling Brian Kelly's shoes, and Brian Kelly was made out to be that as well. So that's not necessarily Marcus Freeman's fault, but I do agree that he's a solid coach.
I kind of have
also
a
solid coaches don't lose
to
home to Northern Illinois under any
Northern
circumstances.
Illinois. Yeah, I think I have a headache already today, so I'm not going to go talk about the playoff anymore that came out last night. You can see it. That way we avoid Austin having a headache.
Oh, no, it's fine. Dude, we're at a brewery. Like
headaches are meant to happen.
If you're going to talk long stand, I can cure that headache pretty quick. So you don't want to talk about it, I'll go and get me a pint, and we'll it's fine.
No, I'll do it in 60 seconds. There's very little disagreements in this week's rankings. Okay, very little disagreement. College
I told
football,
you that going into it.
Well, they did everybody a favor. The committee said we don't want to deal with all the hate this week, and we don't want to deal with all the disagreements. So yeah, Bama, you go ahead and lose. Ole Miss, you go ahead and lose. Indiana, you go ahead and lose and make it easy on us. That's exactly what happened. Yeah. You could nobody's really disagreeing with anything in 1 through 12. People are shocked, kind of, that Clemson is 12. But that's the committee. The committee 7 days ago, we would have said, is struggling to find which of the 12 teams are the best. Well, now this week they're struggling to find 12 good teams because a lot of their 12 teams just lost and proved that they are no longer that playoff caliber. Right? Bama's no longer playoff caliber. Ole Miss no longer playoff caliber. Indiana, just with a loss in general, they just lose a little bit of their luster, if you will. So the committee is having trouble finding 12 good football teams to put in this thing. That's kind of why Clemson's in it. But there's no disagreements, really, because there's nobody else you'd put above them.
Do you guys think, one thought on this, is it a flaw in the system that right now, if it were to end today, Boise State's ahead of Arizona State, and so they get the top 4. The group of 5 team, if it's ahead of a conference, they get the top 4. So then Arizona State, who's actually the 16th ranked team in the country, who's the 5 seed here, plays
Ohio State.
Plays Ohio State. So now Ohio State has to play the 16th ranked team in the country and then Boise State for a chance to get to the semifinal. The best spot to be is the number 5 seed in the tournament. That's right
crazy.
now.
100%.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Isn't that wild?
I mean, after watching Boise State play Wyoming, and I get Wyoming's a tough place to play, elevation and everything.
But they're not that great this year.
They're not good.
No, Wyoming, no, they're not that good at all. No. And I was just watching, Ashton Genty, so...
So it's interesting. No, listen, I'm a big believer. This is the way sports happen sometimes, right? It's a luck of the draw.
Go ahead, on that, and we'll break this down this Friday on Stadium Pulse, which is still happening, by the way, 9:00 this Friday.
Nice.
Eventually, and I don't think it'll take long before the committee does away with automatic bids for conference champions. I don't think the committee likes, and this could be an outlier year. It's unacceptable that Boise State is a 4 seed and it's a first round bye. Going from an 11 in the ranking to 4 in the playoff just can't happen. They've got to figure a way around that. Again, I don't think this would be an issue year in, year out, but it is this year, and it's kind of unfortunate that it's the first year. So I think that's going to be a big spearhead in saying, hey, we got to figure out a different system. We can't reward that much when Boise State's a 4 seed when they have not earned it.
Well,
I'm in agreement with that.
I'll give you one more, though, Hamby. It's like you can't say the Power 4 team should get them either, because honestly, the bigger crime right now, instead of having Boise State at number 4, would be if Arizona State was number 4.
Yeah.
That's the bigger crime. They're 16th in the country. They're not even in the top 12.
Yeah.
So
100%.
You have to fix that, right? You have to fix that, and maybe it's an odd year, but who cares? Odd years are going to happen. So I think that's a weird deal. The 16th team should not jump to be the 4th ranked team with a bye.
Yeah.
Just because you get bigger TV rights than everybody, that just shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
And honestly, if we said that at the outset, we would never predicted this scenario. And they were like, well, that's not fair because there will be 2 SEC teams that get buys or 2 Big Ten teams that get buys. It's just a wonky year to start this thing, which actually exposes some of the flaws of it, I guess, as well. Be interesting to see how that shakes out. Brent Martineau Austen Lane, Jason Hamby. All right, let's get our NFL picks. What do we got?
All right.
He thought I was on a break.
I did.
That was good producing by you, though, Hamby.
Call me audible. I like it.
It's best running back in the league versus best running back in the league. It's Derrick Henry versus Saquon Barkley. We get finally that matchup after seeing them eat week in and week out and being the talk of the NFL seemingly at the running back position. Eagles at Ravens. Baltimore's -3.
Whew, that's a tough one, man.
Right?
Okay, I'm gonna start this one off. I'm gonna give you guys a little. You said Eagles are favored or Ravens are favored?
Ravens are favored.
Ravens,
Or no.
Ravens.
Yeah, Ravens are favored. -3.
And they're home.
Yeah.
I think I saw this correctly, where the Ravens haven't had their bye week yet. And they've been playing like some big games.
Okay.
They just go out west. They come back to the East Coast.
Sure.
It's a short week. Playing an Eagles team that feels pretty fresh to me and also is playing really good football. And it's physical. I think this is a part of the reason why the Jags look so bad. There's a cumulative effect sometimes. I think the Ravens fall victim to the cumulative effect of the emotions of last week, the short week, the wait until this time of year for a bye week, and it shows up in this game, and the Eagles win.
So, all right, I'll let Hammy go last here. So I am going to take the Ravens for the fact of I think this whole time they've been kind of, and I say easing Derrick Henry into this season. I mean, they've been easing him at all because his stats speak for themselves. But in terms of his carries and everything, like as the season progresses, he's getting more and more, and that was showcased obviously against the Chargers. I think you're going to see a big dose of Derrick Henry. And yes, Saquon Barkley is probably the better back right now, but I'm going to take the Ravens at home with the double-headed monster rushing with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Have some momentum now going to the West Coast, beating the younger Harbaugh brother. They come back home now to Baltimore. Can be a pretty tough place to play, and I think the Ravens get it done. Even though I have the Eagles going to the Super Bowl, I think the Ravens get this game done.
Oh man, yeah. This is the one out of the 6 that I didn't want mine to come down to.
Come up,
Yeah,
big
I mean,
head. Hit the jumper, man.
It's a coin flip, man. Honestly, I could go either way.
When the Ravens, I think the Ravens are there are two different teams here. There's the Ravens, and this is the one that got a lot of talk and Munkin and whatever. There's the Ravens that give the ball to Derrick Henry 25 times, and there's the Ravens that give the ball to Derrick Henry 14, 15 times a game. All of their losses have seemingly been when Derrick Henry does not touch the ball enough. I think with the Eagles and facing the Eagles, they're going to want to do even more than regularly keep the ball on the ground, chew clock, make it an uglier game. Uglier game normally favors the home team. And the Ravens have this are allowing the second fewest rush yards a game. If anybody can stop Saquon, I think it is the Ravens. Not that you can really stop them, but you contain them more so. So I'll be taking the Ravens at home -3.
Ooh, put it in vinyl, back-to-back, Hamby Lane House of Pain picks, Brent. Woo! Put it in vinyl.
I do like that line. That's good. We're going to put on a shirt at the very least.
You like that one coast painter since we didn't do a picture play?
That one painter.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can do that. Because I was going to bring the Ian Rappaport crying video up. I don't think we should break that down. So I had nothing to break down. It's
nothing to break down. That one painter First Coast, by the way, for all your painting needs this holiday season. Hamby, what else we got? 2 more to go.
The resurgent Dolphins with a red-hot Tua going up to Green Bay to play the Packers, and Green Bay is -3.5.
Okay, so I'll start this one. It'll be a colder weather game and everything, so that obviously favors Green Bay. But I just feel like Miami now, there's something about them. They have a pretty good run defense, and I think Green Bay right now, they're trying to run the football with Josh Jacobs, trying to establish the run, because I'm not sure if they're all in on Jordan Love trying to win ball games yet. So it's more of the Josh Jacobs show. I think they have the horses up front for Miami to kind of limit Josh Jacobs a little bit. Obviously with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle playing like they are, I think Green Bay might win this game, but I think it's going to be closer than what the line's going to say. So go ahead and give me the Dolphins.
All right, I'll go
Maybe
next.
What you got?
Yeah, I'm taking Green Bay in this one. I love what they've been able to do with Josh Jacobs, and this is more so I'm impressed by Tua. At the same time, I don't know how long he can carry it this good. He's thrown 7 tuds and 0 picks in the last 2 games. That's not who Tua is necessarily. He's due for an interception or 2, and being on the road, I don't think they'll be able to overcome that in the cold. So I'll be taking the Packers by a touchdown or 2.
Oof. Touchdown or 2. I think the Packers have a chance to get hot here. I do think weather plays a factor. I don't know how cold it's going to be. I got to believe it's going to be colder than Miami.
Yeah, so.
And I think that does play a little bit of a factor.
Let me see what
3.5. I don't love the hook there, but you got to believe Green Bay's playing with a lot of momentum. And the thing about that North is you've got to keep pace, right? I mean, these games are important.
So
high of 30.
Right now, it's going to be a low of 16, high of 30.
Yeah, I'm taking the Packers. No Hamby and Lane House of Pain picks.
No, it's all good, man.
Hamby and Martineau.
Yeah, let me know how that works out for y'all.
I don't know the rhyme.
I know. It's
haven't made a T-shirt yet.
It was a good try. It was a good attempt.
You wouldn't understand, okay?
Yeah, there we go.
All right, final pick.
All
Obviously,
right, we got the Jags game.
It is the Jags game. The Jags are 5-point underdogs hosting the Texans.
Can we just do a CJ Stroud prop bet instead for this one, Brent?
I'll tell you this. Now,
here we go.
This was a 6-point spread to start. And I was like, wow, that's pretty. That seemed like a lot to me.
It's a lot.
I thought it was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot for a home team coming off a bye with a team that actually is not playing great in Houston right now. Or, it's had ups and downs. And a lot of pressure on them. Stroud's not playing great. I was surprised by the line. I mean, even with everything going on with Jacksonville. It slid to 5 because I think everybody's thinking Trevor's going to play.
Correct.
Trevor, by the way, just talked at the podium, or he's up there right now. Great sign that he's going to play. He said he wants to be out there with his teammates. Listen, it's pretty clear. Trevor, unless something really, he sleeps on it wrong, is going to play on Sunday. Mm-hmm. I honestly think the Jags are going to bounce back here. I think they're going to be refreshed. I think they're not stopping playing. They might just stink. That might be a true reality. Where coming off these last couple of games, they might stink. But I got a feeling if they don't get this, it's going to be a hell of a lot closer than a 5-point underdog spread. I think they cover this 5 points, no problem.
Okay.
Hey, Abby, what you got?
All right, well, in the Jags home games, obviously just in the last 4, right? Before Detroit, the abomination that was on the field and on display there. Green Bay was the 3-point game. The Eagles was a 5-point game. Minnesota was a 5-point game, right? In the home games that we've played, even going back to Cleveland, that was a 5-point game. So we got a lot of 5-point games. Obviously, the first time we played the Texans, it was in Houston, and we lost by 4. All of us agree that we had every opportunity to win that game with Trevor. And off a bye, I think that does give us enough. I think we're going to win this football game. I was laughing to myself yesterday that why I allow myself to do this, despite all judgment. I think we're the favorite. We should win this football game. I really just think we should win this football game. And I'm praying that the bye week, maybe there are some little tweaks that have happened in the last couple of days or that are being implemented today, and that give us a little edge, and we come out at home despite there not being a lot of people there, maybe, and we win this game.
What you got? Not that you can do anything about it now.
No, I can't do anything about it, man. It doesn't matter.
You like Houston by 5?
Yeah, I really do, Brent.
Really?
Because I think Houston's played their worst set of football.
Okay.
I think
that's fair enough, too.
I think they got it out of their system, and I think, the Jaguars, for whatever reason, the trend has been giving the opposing quarterback some confidence and giving them some love, and I feel like C.J. Stroud's due for a big game, and why do I get the feeling that it's going to be against the Jacksonville Jaguars? So I'm taking the Houston Texans by more than 5, but I hope Brian Thomas Jr. has a big game.
All right, we'll see what takes place. We got our picks in, and right now we're back in first after a big week. If we can have another big week, maybe we get a little separation.
Let's go.
There in our 6-pack of picks. And we're playing against the Miller Moulton Show, Young and Norvell Show, the No Name Show, and still to be determined what the prize is going to be. But we'll figure that part out. Hey, Whataburger Wednesday here on the show as well. And don't forget to check out Whataburger Rewards. You can be a member, and in the month of November, you get special things. How about free Whata wings to breakfast and coffee? But you got to join the Whataburger Rewards program as well. And we had the shakes, those white chocolate peppermint shakes, limited time only. Oh, so good. They have white chocolate peppermint coffee. I did not try that one yet. I got to do that. You had all the sandwiches.
Yes.
Bacon Blaze jalapeno double. You
that
did
one
it.
checked out.
Bob Ranchero.
That one checked out as well.
Oh, you did it. Breakfast on a bun. And we also had the Nashville hot sandwich, chicken
and guess
sandwich.
what? That one also checked out as well.
That was
Brent.
good as
Yes.
well. So limited time offer for some of these, including the Bob Ranchero and the Bacon Blaze jalapeno double. Go check out all the different locations. Whataburger. A Whataburger Wednesday here on the Brent Austen Show. We'll take a time out, come back, talk to Scott Adib about the opening of this newest location here in Jax Beach, Strings Sports Brewery, here on a Wednesday.
In Northeast Florida, we love hanging out on the back patio, maybe grilling out lunch or dinner with the family, enjoying the good weather, or maybe enjoying the big game on the TV. Or maybe your favorite team in town, the Action Sports Jax team. This is great, except for when it's really hot or the bugs start coming out. But what if you didn't have to worry about that? Titan Outdoor Solutions will make your outdoor area a comfortable spot any time of the day, any time of the year. This makes too much sense. Titan Outdoor Solutions can give your home an upgrade. Customized pergolas, awnings, controlled shade, even retractable screens. The solution to beating the heat and the bugs and getting more use out of your home is Titan Outdoor Solutions. And this can even help prevent storm damage at your home. Living in Florida and living in your home is already good. Now make it great. Quality products, custom work, locally owned and operated. Visit TitanShuttersAndScreens.com or call 904-484-7580.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jax 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants.
We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter.
Right now, save $1,000 or more when you bundle a Connecticut Premier Softener with a Connecticut K5 drinking water system. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Ask about our 90-day love it or leave it guarantee. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579. Baker Sports is local sports. Uniforms from Pop Warner and Little League to travel ball, high school, and college. They make you look good. They help you play good. Baker Sports has been helping families make memories that will last a lifetime with their Baker's Buckets. We've got a lot of these filled with baseballs and softballs in the garage. I've been throwing batting practice to Ty and Kaylee for years and also sit on the Baker's Bucket, catching Kaylee while she practices her pitching. Baker Sports is homegrown, and a lot of employees that used to play on local ball fields now work for Baker Sports, now helping you look good, play good, and make memories of your own. Visit Bakersport.com to see what Baker Sports can do for you. Custom apparel, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, embroidery, screen printing, and more. Baker Sports is local sports from Jacksonville to anywhere in the Southeast. Bakersport.com. Everyone loves a good game night. Here you don't have to be the host. You don't have to clean up. They bring the food and drinks to you, and you can watch whatever you want on the big screens. It's more than a card room. It's a night full of fun with friends. Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now the newest location here in St. Augustine, right off 95 at exit 311. A brand new clean room, a full bar and menu, my favorite sushi in town. And I love the fries too. You don't have to just play poker at Best Bet. That's why I come over here to the table games and play one-card poker. That's a pretty good card and a win. One-card poker is like war as a kid, you against the dealer. And this isn't the only fun table game to play. A friendly staff, a lot of fun. It's a good night out at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and the newest location in St. Augustine. You can be a serious player or a novice. It doesn't matter. If winning equals fun, you're a winner every time at Best Bet. I'll save you a seat, and I'll see you down here at Best Bet St. Augustine.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Hey, welcome back here to Strings Sports Brewery in Jax Beach. We've been saying Strings Sports Brewery in Springfield for, well, quite a long time. And we'll be there tonight with Jaguars All Access. Chad Muma and his wife are going to join us, talk a little bit about their My Cause, My Cleats mission. It's a big week. It's a cool week around the NFL with My Cause, My Cleats, and a lot of different players have different missions and using their platform for a good reason. We'll have Chad Muma, the Jaguars linebacker, to tell us about his tonight on the show. That's 7 o'clock. On Fox 30, but hopefully you can come join us on the Thanksgiving edition at String Sports Brewery. Got a feeling Scott Adib will be over here at this location.
I'm going to be here tonight, Brent. We're trying to crank this bad boy up this afternoon, day before Thanksgiving. So you can see there's a bunch of worker bees. It's like that episode of you're trying to build the house, get the house finished, but before the homeowner comes driving down in the bus. That's where we are right now.
It really is. When we pulled up this morning, I was like, and I said this to Austin a little bit ago, hey, it looks like they're getting close. They're going to open in about a week and a half or so. Nope. Maybe open like in a matter of hours or something. That's how much is going on here. The final touches. How close are you guys?
We are very close. We got the inspectors on their way, and we feel good that everything's good to go. And I think they're going to give us the green light to get open this afternoon, and then we'll be closed tomorrow, and then off and running come the weekend.
Awesome.
And then we'll be having the first Monday show.
Yeah, Jags Report Live will be here Monday.
Out here at the
it's
beach.
going to be here. We got a new setup, but we're looking forward to that, and just a little bit of a change of location. This is, Austin and I were talking, this is a big night tonight, right, in your industry.
It is. Day before Thanksgiving is always one of the busiest days of the year, and it was really important for me to try to get in to, with the holiday tomorrow and then everybody shutting down for the weekend. It was big to try to get open and get in today, which it looks like that's where we're headed.
You can tell that you've been around this a long time because obviously with your brother and Bono's and the restaurant business and what you've done already in Springfield, like you don't even really look that stressed.
No. Well, I didn't sleep much last night, but no, it's all good. My stress level was really more about 6 months ago. And then over the last probably 6 weeks, I've just kind of hit a calm. I'm really thrilled with the staff that we've brought in. We've hired about 45 people here.
Wow.
And really excited with the crew. And of course, this neighborhood here is so excited for us to get this place open. I think everybody's going to be proud to see what we've done to this building, similar to what we did down at Springfield.
Yeah.
So the calmness is just kind of taken over, and I'm ready to go do what we do best, and that's serve customers.
I have a lot of questions about that. You said it, and you can feel it. They're excited about this location here in Jax Beach. We're on Penman Road near Sonati's Bakery. People are familiar with that spot, the old Terry's, right?
Yeah.
And why do you feel the excitement? Why this location? Why do you think it was needed in this spot?
We're going to be a locals place. All these homes that are right behind this building here, and Penman Road has gotten to where it's as busy almost as A1A now.
Yeah.
And, as a local, I live right behind here. My kids' homes live right behind here. And all these people have their e-bikes, their golf carts. And if they don't have to cross over A1A and fight that mess, we're going to be the local spot for them.
Yeah, so it's a good spot in that respect. I also got to believe when you do this, and you said 45 folks I mean, that's pretty cool. You forget that part, right? You're opening up a restaurant, you're serving the public and everything else, but you're also putting people to work around here. That's going to be a pretty proud point.
It's very proud, and it's also that gets a little stressful at times because, I'm providing their livelihood as well as ours. But, it's you hire good people, you treat them right. We're very excited. We're very thrilled with what we're doing.
We love the Springfield location. You guys have done a terrific job. We've watched that grow, and it's really fun to be out there. A cool vibe. What's going to be the difference? What's the difference here? And I'll ask it in two different ways. It's just structurally, it's obviously a different look, right? It's a different feel from the outside seating there versus here. What did you change from
we really
to here?
Tried to keep the same vibe. Downtown we got the big, huge garage doors from a Firestone shop. Here we put in these pop-up windows that gives the same feel, but with us basically building from scratch, we went more efficient than the garage doors from a JEA Beaches Energy standpoint. But we're hoping the vibe is going to be identical because what we've created downtown, it's really cool for me to look out in the dining room and we have family beer sports plastered all over is one of our slogans. Yeah. But you see the 25 to 35 somethings come in here to hang out and having a good time. You see the families pull up on their golf carts with the 3 and 4 year olds, and then you'll see a table of grandparents, and everybody feels comfortable. Everybody feels welcome. Everybody enjoys, the food and the product we put out. And that's really a good feeling for me that we can cover so many demographics.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's one for all, right? Pretty much, which is really cool. Brent Martineau here with Scott Adib, the owner of Strings Sports Brewery, Springfield location, and now Jax Beach location, maybe opening later today if you want to swing by and at least take a peek. Confidence in that, but not advertising it to the world, as we've been told. But definitely opening on the weekend. We're going to have our show here, Jags Report Live, on Monday. We're really looking forward to that as well. Any different beverages or food items here versus there? Will be a similar
We've got the same menu, same beer. I mean, we're gonna open up with nine of our beers on tap. You can see our brew house behind us. We're probably about 2 weeks from cranking up the brew house here to start brewing. And of course, this time of year, with the holidays, with football, it's a busy time. So we've been going through a bunch of product downtown and still trying to supply product for here. So our beer menu board, we're telling people, is probably going to get worse before it gets better. It's going to take us probably about 3 or 4 months to really get caught back up. But we will have, same food, same cool, fun specials, same beer, same vibe. And, why change what we've created?
Yeah.
So, and this has more of a beachy feel.
It does. Yeah, you can definitely feel it. And that's okay. That's good. It fits right with the surroundings. The cool thing about Strings, if you've never been, especially in Springfield, but now as I look around here and take a walk around here today, the memorabilia, you must have a lot of this stuff, by the way, at your house.
I do.
But I do too. We all do, right? But you've got some really cool stuff. And you were just telling me, actually said, hey, you got to look at this picture of your parents and your grandparents when they purchased what is now Jax Beach Golf Course.
Yeah, it was back in
1960 or something,
1960. Right? My mother tells the story. My parents were like 32, 33, and she tells the story that she kept saving up. Her and my dad kept saving up for a new dresser drawer for their bedroom. Never got it. They were saving up. My father comes home from work one day. He goes, honey, I got us something. And she goes, it's about time you got us that dresser drawer. And he goes, well, we got a golf course instead.
That's awesome. Very cool.
So yeah, little beach history that my family at one time owned what is now Jax Beach Golf Course.
That's great. I did not know that until you showed me that. So that's fun. Really special stuff. When did this project start for you?
So we purchased it. We officially purchased the property. In January will be 2 years.
Wow.
And
is that about normal? Or is that longer than you anticipated?
It was probably a little longer than I was hoping for.
Okay.
But just for, there's so many things that go into it.
Oh, yeah.
But when we actually broke ground on the renovation, it's been about 7 months.
Oh, not bad.
So
Yeah,
not bad.
So what do you do in the restaurant business when you open a place? I mean, is there some champagne later today? Is there do you break a bottle? I mean, what do you do?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do a little bit of everything. We're probably going to have a little group prayer with everybody just to give us some good vibes, good vibes, and then we'll have a toast and we're off and running.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, good for you. Congrats. It's been fun seeing this kind of grow as we've been hanging out at Strings Sports Brewery with the shows, and it's such a cool place over there. This is going to be a home run. I mean, come by on the weekend. I think you're going to see
absolutely
quite a few of your friends.
Yeah, we love working with you guys, and I know we were hoping to get the Monday show here sooner than it ended up, but here we are, and let's hope the Jags can finish strong.
Yes, let's get some wins combined with the opening, and maybe this place will be like undefeated for a little bit or something.
There you go.
That would be nice. Scott Adib, owner of Strings Sports Brewery here in Jax Beach and in Springfield. Support them both, but come check this one out. Again, maybe later today, drive by, see. You might want to pop by for a drink on a Wednesday night before Thanksgiving, before you spend time with the family, but definitely on the weekend, and come on out to the show Monday night. Jags Report Live will be right here at this newest location. Tonight, Jaguars All Access is at Strings Sports Brewery, usually on Thursday, but obviously because of the holiday, it's on a Wednesday night this week in Springfield, and that's not changing. The Monday shows are going to be here in Jax Beach. The Thursday shows are going to be in Springfield for the remainder of the year. Congratulations, man.
Brent, appreciate it.
All right, excited for you guys. We'll take a break, Brent Austen Show. We'll put a bow on this show and get you set for the holiday weekend when we come back.
When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway, or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness, and most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC. We are professional grade.
The vibes will stay high on the campus of the University of North Florida this week as that PK match winner from Joaquin Acuna sealed the Ospreys ASUN Tournament Championship crown, their second tournament title in school history and the first since 2015. However, the ride will not end there for the Ospreys as they now await an NCAA championship tournament bid, which they will find out later this week. And as one ASUN championship bid ends in success, another will get started this week for the Ospreys, this time in volleyball. The UNF women's volleyball team secured the 6th seed in their 11th straight ASUN tournament bid, and they will now travel to Fort Myers to face 3rd-seeded Central Arkansas on Thursday. And remember, you can find schedules, results, tickets, and more at UNFOspreys.com.
I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants.
We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter.
Right now, save $1,000 or more when you bundle a Connecticut Premier Softener with a Connecticut K5 drinking water system. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Ask about our 90-day love it or leave it guarantee. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
When it comes to trucks, I know exactly what I want. And at Bozard Ford, they make it easy to get exactly that. Let's go make this truck a little more my style. With Bozard Built, I can create my perfect truck right here. Lift kit? Check. Premium wheels? You bet. Advanced lighting package? Oh yeah. The Bozard team works their magic. From bumper to tailgate, I'm making this truck mine. It's everything that I wanted and more. From the field to the gym to weekend adventures. This truck's built for my journey. Bozard Built. Customized for your lifestyle, built to exceed your expectations. Check out the inventory and available options at bozardbuilt.com. Unleash your dream ride. Customized, covered, and Bozard approved.
New to town or always been in town, everyone is always looking for a good pizza place. Our place is Donato's Pizza. We love it and still do love it. When I tell my family I'm coming to Donato's, they say, wait a minute, you got to order some for us. So this is not all for me. Let me tell you what the Martineaus get when we put an order in. Well, pepperoni pizza, we usually get more than one of these. And then there's the works, a little bit of everything. And then this is the pizza that can be polarizing for some out there. I don't know why. Hawaiian pizza, some love it, some don't. At Donato's, you're gonna love it, especially with that cinnamon sprinkled on top. Try the pizza my family likes or try your favorite. Right now, you can use the code BRENT20 and get 20% off your order. Every viewer and listener is important to us, and at Donato's Pizza, every piece is important. From fresh ingredients to the dedicated team members and you, the valued customer. Donato's Pizza, where every piece comes together for a winning combination. Jax Beach and Mandarin locations. Donato's Pizza, every piece is important.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
And welcome back to downtown Jacksonville. There, at least with that view on a beautiful day here in the River City, and a lovely day here in Jax Beach as well as they get ready to open up Strings Sports Brewery in Jax Beach later today. That is, you're hearing it here first. You can swing by maybe around 4 o'clock is the plan, as long as things go well over the next couple of hours. I want to tell you also a place that you can have a better car shopping experience, and that's with my friends at Nimnick Buick GMC, Jacksonville's only Car Bravo certified dealership. Car Bravo at Nimnick, you'll get transparent pricing, the best value for your trade-in, peace of mind. Now's the best time to shop certified and buy with confidence. Enjoy rates as low as 1.9% APR. Trading in your old vehicle? Don't forget who gives you top dollar for your trade. Nobody but Nimnick. NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick Buick GMC on Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade. Brent Martineau Austen Lane. We just got a little bit of a tour of the brew house back here. Really cool to watch this. I know nothing about the restaurant business, so it's really kind of neat to see some of the things that they're doing here today and opening it and what they've done over the last couple of years to get this set up for a pretty cool grand opening weekend here on this Thanksgiving weekend. Before we get to what are you thankful for the Jags, which I'm not sure the list is going to be long. We don't need a lot of time. But a quick look on the Dodgers. Your reaction to the Dodgers is not alone, right?
Yeah.
Stop the count.
And Hamby, I'm sure yours is the same way. Yeah, stop the count, right? It's like, can we do anything? And I've got to be honest with you. I love baseball, but I don't pay attention too much to the economics of it all and the weeds of the luxury tax and all this other stuff. And I think the luxury tax does still hurt teams like the Dodgers and all the money they spend. But the bottom line is, it feels like the Shohei Ohtani deal that shoved $700 million in deferment pay opened the door for all this other stuff, which, by the way, good loophole for the Dodgers and good for Shohei Ohtani for being able to do it. He obviously didn't need the money right now. They'll be paying Shohei for like 2 decades. Sure. But for right now, it opens you to go get a Blake Snell. You just won the World Series, and now you could get a Snell. Are you in the running for a Soto? Who knows? It just seems a little unfair. And this comes from a Red Sox guy, by the way. Red Sox spend money. Like, they're not afraid to spend money. So I'm crying, I guess, for the rest of the other teams in the league.
Yeah.
It just feels like the Dodgers are playing an unfair game right now.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, you see that Ohtani contract, like I just said, like, it was more of an investment because look at how much they got in return in terms of just global hype and everything. And then, to couple it off, you win a World Series. So obviously you get a World Series bump in terms of your money as well. You know, the thing I love about baseball is, like, you have a smaller market like a Milwaukee that can compete with, like, the large markets like New York, like L.A. I mean, that's the great game of baseball. And I'm not gonna lie, like this year, it was an entertaining series, but it kind of turned me off a little bit because now, like, you didn't have like your Diamondbacks, you didn't have your Nationals in it. It was two of the powerhouses, two of the top tier teams in terms of spending money, and then I see like the Dodgers, bring in another pitcher, and it's like, yeah, baseball is great because it's all about the chemistry and it's all about pushing the right buttons at the right time. But eventually, you just load up a team so much where it doesn't matter. Like, they're just that much more talented, and they're probably going to win. And that's how I'm starting to feel now with the Dodgers.
Hey, Hamby, you're a big baseball guy. And, I mean, the Dodgers were banged up this year. They were banged up a lot of the season. They didn't have guys. Like, they are going to get other guys back that they didn't have. And all they did at the deadline was bring over a guy like Flaherty, right? Mm-hmm. They brought, who was it, Kopech from the White Sox over. Yep. And then they go add now a Blake Snell, and it's like, to go along with whatever else. Like, I don't know if
Tyler Glasnow,
what's his name, has anything left. Well, Glasnow, he could be, if he's healthy. But Kershaw, he might not have much left, right?
If Ohtani pitches again.
If Ohtani pitches again, they might get Ohtani pitching.
Bueller's still there too, right?
And Bueller.
Yeah.
And Snell. And Flaherty.
Jeez,
and Glasnow. I mean, that's an all-star team.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Pitching. Now, you've got hurdles like staying healthy. That's just the nature of the beast. Hamby, you turned off by it or what?
Yeah, it's a tired act, man. It's frustrating. I don't know what there can be done about it. It's just my immediate mind when stuff like this has happened in the past at a slightly lesser level, because this isn't new of the Dodgers or teams like the Padres getting a lot of players and spending big. My first thought always was, man, it's just going to be so much more satisfying when somebody beats them and sends them home in the playoffs. So I just hope that we get that this year, because up until this last year, that's what we got every year for the last pretty much.
We kind of did get
for the last 6 to 8 years of the Dodgers. It's been, man, so satisfying to see them go home. Up until obviously COVID year that they won, and this year. But yeah, it's frustrating. As a Braves fan, it's like at least that means Max Fried isn't going to go there, which is a benefit to me. Because he's going to be testing free agency. But yeah, I mean, it's because it's for somebody to compete roster wise, they'd also have to do it, right? And then you'd have at least two centralized teams in the league, which is even then that's not any better, because you like it for it to be an open field of 6, 7, 8 teams that could potentially be there at the end in one of the leagues. Obviously 6, 7, 8 per league, American National. But it's not what you're going to get.
Yeah, I think, it's interesting. There's a couple things to look at. Sports are meant to be, they try to put these guardrails on to have parity. They want parity. Mm-hmm. I think all the leagues try to get parity. That's why the luxury tax does exist, because it was out of hand. It was no salary cap in Major League Baseball. Is that where you should go back to and get to and try to find? Too late in that game. It feels like with the amount of money these guys are making, the union would never do that. But I also think the Dodgers deserve some credit. Their creativity, their willingness to build. It reminds me a little bit of the Eagles, what we were talking about earlier this week, that they're not afraid to go get guys and go get guys and go get guys. And it's like, holy cow, like, how are you getting all these people? And why isn't anybody else getting them? But they have the guts to do it. And they've framed it a certain way, and they've got people bought in to do it. And so I think the Dodgers, I know they're going to get a lot of ridicule. I think they do deserve some credit for being able to build it in this landscape and separate themselves from people like the Yankees and the Cubs and the Mets. I mean, there are other teams that spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they have actually put themselves on another pedestal in that department, it feels like, with what they have. The one last thing for me, you mentioned San Diego. I know we see when San Diego does it, it didn't bother me. It's like, hey, good for those guys. About time they decided to pay out some money.
I was surprised they could actually afford it.
Right?
Honestly.
If Pittsburgh were to do it, I don't think we'd blink at it. It's like, good, finally they're investing. If Tampa were to go get a big-name guy like Juan Soto, they'd be like, hey, good, at least they're finally investing.
Yeah.
Houston, for the longest time, didn't. They are. I didn't know this, that Houston's the third highest payroll in the Major League Baseball. I did not realize that. Or third or fifth, or one of those. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize that. So, that's why the Dodgers have always spent. And the Dodgers have been king spenders for feels like the last decade. And now it's like on steroids. It just doesn't feel great. All right, hey, let's do this. Let's end the show with a happy Thanksgiving. And what are you thankful for when it comes to the Jacksonville Jaguars? Seems like such a dangerous question.
Without laughing your butt off, please?
It seems like such a dangerous question.
Serious, please.
What are we thankful for?
Come on, man. We're around the table right now. We're getting ready to say grace. You have to go around and say what we're thankful for, man.
Well, go ahead. It was your idea.
Okay. Well, first of all,
they employed you.
First of all, they employed me back in the day. Yeah, that was nice of them to do. I'm thankful for the throwback jerseys.
Oh, good.
I thought people got. Oh, are you being serious?
No, that's good.
Okay, yeah, I think that was people were excited about that. I think
they'll wear them again against the Jets.
Wearing them again against the Jets. I mean, I think it's a nice looking jersey, so I'm thankful for that.
Hamby?
Sometimes when you look back on your year, depending on how your year's gone, you may or may not have to go back to many months for an event or something in your life that you're particularly thankful for. There might not be something that's in the last 6 weeks that particularly stands out. So I think I'm going to go back to the freaking stadium deal. I'm thankful for the stadium deal that we're locked in.
Yeah. Good for you.
See?
That we're locked in, and I'm just going to choose to look into the future and see that, hey, we accomplished a big thing here, and we've secured our future in this city for many, many years to come, and we're able to say, an expletive or two if we wanted to all the London goons, and so that'll be my piece.
Good answer. Yeah, we're playing the Family Feud right now, Brent. Good answer.
They're calling.
That's a great answer.
Good answer, Hamby.
Fast money. They're calling for Shock Your Mock Monday, by the way, already.
Shock Your Mock Monday? Can we get a theme song going on?
Yeah, happy Delphonic. Happy Thanksgiving, Delphonic. I just said happy Delphonic. We'll rename the day. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. I was trying to see if we got any. I'm thankful that the team got a bye last week because they were tired and needed the break from taking L's. I'm thankful the Jags aren't playing the Lions again.
Brent's just trying to buy time because he has nothing thankful.
No, I mean, I think I thought you guys were going to go with like a Brian Thomas Jr.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's it.
I mean, he really, listen,
going around.
In the grand scheme of things, I don't think you can overhype the Brian Thomas Jr. thing. Mm-hmm. This is a franchise that has had, well, right now a disastrous season, a disastrous mismanagement of their plan or what they expected. They've had disasters in terms of free agency this class. Mm-hmm. They've also had some hits in the last couple of years under Bulky, but not this one. This has been a bad one. They've also had disaster drafts from mid-round picks to later-round picks to early picks over my tenure here in Jacksonville, at least. So when you go out of the box, which was out of the box for the Jags organization and Bulky, and everything right now is seemingly gone bad, you can't sleep on the fact that that went right. We did a show a couple weeks ago where, would you trade him for anybody right now in the first round? Not just who picked 5 picks in front of you or 5 picks but anybody. And you might have a guy or two, but you're asking that question. That's how good he's been.
Of course.
And I think it's a really cool thing. Like, you watch Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, and I don't know if it's going to be to that degree, but you can now say, and I think Hamby actually shared a tweet with us, like, you talk about top duos, you could put Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas potentially in the conversation.
Yeah.
There's got to be more. That's, again, this final 6 weeks is big for that, but you can put them in the conversation, and that is a big deal. Yep. To be able to do that. So I really think he's the biggest bright spot of this football season.
No, you're not wrong. And I'm also thankful for press conferences as well, because I've never watched so many press conferences in my entire life until this Jacksonville Jaguars season. Doug Peterson is still on the team. That means, hey, the grudge match could happen anytime soon. Brent Martineau, Doug Peterson, hell in the cell match. There's no escape. Only one man's going to leave.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Hope you enjoy the holiday. We'll see you at Strings Sports Brewery in Springfield tonight for Jaguars All Access. And come by the new location in Jax Beach.